Hey guys, 2 o'clock. Welcome to the close for the last time in 2021. We're going to take you through to the end of not only the trading session, but the trading year. And what a year it's been. It's a pretty muted session right now, but lots to discuss anyways, as far as what we've seen occur not only today, but throughout the past couple of days and this entire year. Here we go. Yeah. I mean, it's quiet. Tech stocks a little weak, 0.3 to the downside for the NASDAQ. We're lower here in Toronto as well. Brazil's slightly higher. Some more negativity coming back into crypto markets. We were higher, if you remember, if you joined us to start things off this morning. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum now in negative territory. I'll give you a quick look at how things are shaping up here. It's pretty flat right across the board. Communication services stocks red on the day. Energy, CTRA down 3%. Everything else not bad. Over here, MHK, a nice day, 3% to the upside. This is the consumer discretionary sector. Travel names are weak. Once again, some of the retailers coming through on the positive side of the board so far today, helping to keep this number up here, 0.06 for the overall market in positive territory. Industrials are strong. Healthcare is strong. Pretty mixed session for tech stocks as well, about 50-50. You can see PayPal, yeah, another 1.4% to the downside for PayPal. Microsoft in negative territory, but only just. Banks showing some strength as well. It's a quiet day. It's New Year's Eve. It's the last day of the year. We have a Q&A coming up. I don't know why I have crumbs all over my hands. 2:30, guys, we're going to, all of us, three of us from the main show, plus Trader Prad, Miss V, going to join us as well. Randy's here, Rob's here. We're all going to sit down, answer as many questions as we can. We'll probably go right through to 4 o'clock, let's be honest. Randy has got the champagne. Robbie, do we have the champagne is kind of on ice and ready to go. So we're going to get that going as soon as we get into the Q&A. Let's kick things off as we always do, though, with there was actually trading happening today, if you were surprised by that. Neil's going to talk you through one of his trades from this morning.
Yes, sir. We're going to go over something that was moving a lot yesterday. Of course, I missed that action being on vacation, but I'm back. Alibaba was a monster mover. A lot of Chinese names, companies listed here in the U.S. Made big and strong moves yesterday. And Alibaba has been absolutely beaten up. You can look at a daily chart. You know what's been going on. But it was a huge bounce off of 110, full almost $10 move, ended up closing above that 122 mark. And that's where I wanted to start things out, because you get a big move like this and you start thinking, if it can't actually break out of this range, hey, on lower volume type of days, then maybe you play inside of the range, which means a fade trade. So if you look at what the previous resistance was, right around this 123 mark for a couple of sessions here, and then you had the test, the break, and then closing essentially right at that 123 mark, that's where I was pegged into. And the typical trade that I like, if you're going the other direction, is going to be the old pop and fade idea. Now, it does give a move to 123, and the initial move was missed. So first rule of thumb, if I'm ever missing out on the pop and fail at that resistance level, I'm not going to chase it, right? So if I don't get it here at about 122.50 or so, I generally stop chasing it just in case it bounces at that level. Once it breaks that low that it made here right at 930, then I'm looking to play that as my next area of entry. So it makes the break, finds itself a bottom, and then I'm able to short on the way back up to 121. And essentially what I'm saying here is, okay, well, if I don't get the floor of 123, I'm looking for a short bias with the first level of resistance being that previous low. I then make first day back, bit of a keystroke error, and I said this on the live show, that I only meant to get out a couple of legs on the way down to that 119 mark, still looking for 117 bottom, which hasn't come in just yet. But instead, I keystroke, got into an accidental long position at that low, put too many shares in the bid, and just got out of the long. That allowed me to be more aggressive with a re-entry point, not waiting for 121, actually taking a 120 half, scalping it out again around that 119, 60 to 80 area. And then we get the pop into VWAP. And it actually broke VWAP, got into that 121 range, where I was able to get it one time. I didn't take it the second time. Again, scalps them out in front of 120, and then I'm in a hold mode. Holding for that 117 as it moved. I didn't get any more shares until it just went right back into this 120 level here. So we said this in the morning show. If you got some winning trades on in a day where you know the market's going to slow down, if you're in the right direction, sometimes just hanging on to it a little bit longer. give yourself some room for it to still work. The trend never really got broken on the reversal. It's a pretty clean failed break at that resistance at 123. It's a clean lower high. It still has a chance to retest those lows. So I'm pretty comfortable holding on to this one into the close. If it does break about a 120.25 or maybe even a 30, it is worth considering getting out and then just looking to see if it can take out that high. But that's a clear case of anticipating that on a day like today, last day of the year, you might have a little bit less volume. You might not break out of the range. And if you don't, you can have a clear directional bias, which we did have here in Alibaba. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know in the comment section below. Did you find longs on stocks like this? There was a lot of these names that ran yesterday that you could have made money on that made similar types of moves to this. So let us know how that went for you. And we're about to go enjoy the last closing show of the day. Ooh, 2021. Hell of a year.
Yeah, a little bit of a second day kind of opportunity, not only on some of the Chinese names, but also throughout. I mean, Virgin Galactic was huge yesterday. Peloton was huge yesterday, getting some follow through once again today. A few of those were on the watch list this morning, guys. If you joined us at 8:30, join us, won't you, at 8:30 every single morning. The market is open. We go through that every single morning in the pre-market, talk about what's moving around and why, give you some opportunities as far as how to approach the trading day when the market opens at 9:30. Here we go. Some headlines to wrap up the year. Yeah, we're about to cross the finish line on what Reuters is calling a tumultuous year. Some fun facts for you. The three main indexes headed for their best 3-year gain since 1999. So there's that. S&P 500 to end 2021 with the second most record closing highs ever. And if I jump down here, I can show you 77 was the record. And you got to go back to 1995 was the year that we got 77 record closing highs for the S&P 500. We are currently sitting at 70 so far for this year. So yeah, what a year it has been.
And it's going to be 71, it looks like, maybe here, new record high, as the ES is right now up 0.6. The NASDAQ is the one that's the problem. And yeah, welcome. This is the last closing show of the year. And I can see already our numbers are down right now. So, you know, those of you that tuned in, thank you so much for doing that. In about 20 minutes, we are going to do that Q&A. Should be fun. I mean, I'm still in basically the same positions that we've had all day. We've added to our AMC. We've added to our Peloton here. And yeah, we're just kind of in cruise mode right now. Let's take this thing into the close. I'm expecting, I mean, there's people on the chat asking about what the close might bring. I'm expecting a little bit of fireworks. I mean, why not? I mean, we're like Brendan just said, unbelievable that the market's up this much. We're setting records, 70 straight record days on the close, and we're in a pandemic. Like, we can't even go, our kids aren't even going back to school on Monday. You know, like, this is crazy. We can't even have 10 people indoors. There's lots of stuff happening here, yet the market is at an all-time high. So, you know, the market's saying, hold my beer. So, yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, too. Imagine in a good world here. Yeah, hold beer. Yeah, hold champagne soon. Right now, we did a story on, we already had some Tim Hortons there. We went and got some, so we're coffeed up here. And by the way, Neil, on that trade of the day, I've never heard you speak faster. So I don't know if you're trying to wrap it up.
Actually, no. You know what?
Did you notice that?
So, okay. So, yeah, I was speaking a little bit faster, but Sean just showed you the coffee. I actually don't drink coffee
and that's what made me think of it.
And, you know, Sean went out and paid for coffee. Randy got the points because that's what Randy does.
He snaked them.
He snaked. I'm sorry, Randy. I'm calling you out. But yeah, so I had a coffee in the afternoon. So I'm a little bit excited here, and we're gonna probably have a little bit more fun. Then I'm gonna simmer off with some champagne. So we'll see how that one does go. But I think we're gonna have a good fun end of the show here. Like you said, there could be some activity. There's some window dressing that can happen at the end of the year. So it's not as if nothing will happen in the markets. And there's some stocks moving. I'm in NTRB, as you can still see from the morning. There's some things still happening here. That's the
called NYC moving right. I think that's a REIT. Another one of those NYC moving, guys, on volume right now. We talked about Alibaba. NIO was another one that was huge yesterday, along with the rest of the Chinese group. But it was mostly technical. There wasn't really any kind of significant news catalyst to help that move yesterday. This was a huge run up. Kind of choppy today, though, but I mean, constructive to say the least here, guys. We're holding, you know, the top end of the range at least.
I'd say so.
For NIO?
Yeah, like considering, like, look what Alibaba, we just showed that trade and how that is relatively, sort of weak here and gave you a bigger flush. I mean, NEO actually broke out, tested that 33 high, never got there. And this is one of the reasons I'm pretty sure you would have heard Sean say, look for the 33 break. Like, if it breaks this level and now we get to play it next week, at that 33, now you have a multi-day high. It's managing to at least hold up the afternoon support, which, if you look at it very late in the session, was back around this 31.75 area. That's holding up as higher support, so you're still in the top end of the range, which is a pretty good sign for it, at least looking at the chart anyways, considering what the daily chart has looked like. If NEO's finally made a bottom, like we showed XPEV this morning, and the reason I like it better, stronger chart, it's broken some of the major moving averages to the upside. Their numbers have just been better, sales in China as well. So it's been kind of lapping NEO to a certain extent. But that also means that NEO, if it makes this little breakout, it's got some decent room into your 50 period, back into this cluster here, 37 to 43 or so. So yeah, it's definitely got some room to go, hopefully holding up at 31.75, that area holds today. That's a good sign to end the year for NEO. It's got a lot of work to be done. Obviously, it's been cut by more than in half, but there's a heck of a lot of symbols that look a lot worse than this, right? Like anything that made a top at the beginning of the year, a high-flying name, some of them look much, much worse. Like they broke support and then capitulated. NEO has actually been holding out here around this 30 level and finding a bit of a buy, which is a pretty good sign for it going into next year. It's a crowded space. I can't say that I think they're the winner, but you can do a heck of a lot worse in terms of at least making a 2 or 3 week type of play and break if we can hold these levels here and break that 33, that's a trade I anticipate. If it breaks 33 on Monday, we're probably looking to take that trade then. I don't think it's going to happen here in the final 2 hours.
No, we, like many of you may be familiar with, we hit it and quit it here on NIO this morning. We just took that break early. We wanted to play the momentum like we were talking about from yesterday. It was lower in the pre-market, so we're just like, you know what, nah, that's not good. We'll take that long. We let it settle down here near pre-market lows and then bang that to the upside right here. Take the 32.20 out, 32.50 out, 32.60. Quick trades right there for us on NIO. And then, like expected right here, action early, and then 10 o'clock happened, a little bit of a dive, and now you're kind of just barcoding, as we like to say. So that's what's good so far. I love the champagne in the bottom left right there. We've got the Veuve. What is the other one there? What is...
I couldn't read it from over.
It does... There we go. That's what's all good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're getting ready to rock and roll with that, and then our Q&A coming up as well. We're really, really excited. We also have New Year's resolutions coming up, trading style. That'll be up very, very soon as well. So lots to talk about. Even though the market's not doing much, it should be a fun last 2 hours here.
Getting a little toast.
A bit of a volume spike. I said there's things moving here. What? Oh,
we're all in the fire.
We're all in the fire. NTRB might be back on fire. It just popped $1 from $10 into 11. I'm still short at 11.80 here, up off that $12 level. But again, volume spike. If you're still gonna be trading something, you want it to be moving. NTRB 100% falls into that category. Might make another run. That's a big level at 12, even on the daily. I know Trader Prad mentioned that on the Midday Mover show. If you look at it, the last time it got here was a hard reversal. That's why I like to short at this price, just shy of the $12. But if it takes out the top, I won't be sticking around to see it happen. I'm going to be reversing into a long position if it takes out what is now the high at 12.19. I love the real-time fireplace. It'd be great if we had the real thing, though, Brendan.
It is time, guys, for everyone's favorite job as a trader, and that is going to be coming up with your next year's resolutions. We're talking trading resolutions in this video, guys. Everyone at the end of the year spend some time kind of going back over how their year was, what they did well, what they might have done a little bit better, and then we come up with how we're going to make next year better, guys.
So, to be honest, for mine, it's very simple for me. Like, if you watch the show, like a lot of these smaller cap names that run, I'm always looking to find a top, find a short, find a turn. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's to capture more, not just more in terms of volume and getting long positions on things like NTRB, but also when I have them to find a way to hold on to them. So that's twofold here, right? Like, a lot of times if something is on your don't short this in the morning list, right? The second it's on that list, the question becomes how to structure a long and be more aggressive in finding ways to do so. And what that can simply mean is then just try to take more pot shots at it. And even if it happens to be a simple consolidation break like this one here at a 725 at the open with a tight stop here into 650, it could be being more aggressive, making sure I'm watching this for the halt trade to get it long off the halt or finding a reopen. Either of those things can work as well. But I think the more important one is if I look at where I did take this long, when it reopened after the halt, I got it on an 850 break. And at that particular time, if you think, and I look at the daily chart here, and I just talked about a $12 level. If I think the hard top is 12, and I also think there's a psychological level at $10, that's $1.50 from 850, that first 10 level. That's $3.50 in terms of gross to that $12 level. So why would I have a 15-cent stop on that trade? It doesn't really make a heck of a lot of sense. I could have used the halt price as a stop, give it 10% back, which is only 80 pennies. That's 2-to-1 to the $10 level. That's 4-to-1 to that $12 level up the top side. So it's pretty simple for me. I know exactly like the playbook for what I'm trying to do. It's a matter of structuring those trades to the long side, be able to get them. Because even when I do have the long, I'm not really capturing very much of that. And that's where a lot of the profitability has been in some of these low float runners. And if that continues, don't want to be missing out on those trades.
Yeah, good one. And mine's going to be very, very similar as to learning lessons from our current trading. And I think that that's what you have to do as a successful trader is look back and say, where are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses? This year, I've actually thought I've done better. I mean, you look back and you always want to hold more, but try to hold a little bit extra for that bigger move. So that's one thing. Normally, I'm scalping back and forth. You guys know that. Try to hold on for a little bit of a bigger winner. And then also something that I have identified here is just for example, so here's AMD today trading, right? And you see this big move down. Well, I'm getting long into this, into some of this 145 down here, right? So I choose 145 as my actionable area. Now remember, I like to trade off O's, 25s, 50s, and 75s. So what I'm noticing is a lot of the time, you see, maybe I can zoom in here. It's right here. So this like little wick that happens when we break back down through 145, often it's because I'm punching out of the longs at support at the same level everybody else is. So you see some wicks here, some more wicks here, some more wicks here. They're all at 145 before the stock eventually breaks. That's fine. But again, there's no wick here. This is a solid candle break all the way down. So you're wrong. The stock most likely doesn't come back, right? Watch these executions. I'm going to right click here and put them back on. And I'm getting better at it because you guys have seen me do this before. So here we go. Long and out. That's $3 winner. Long. Forget it. I'm not going to review these trades. But look what happens here. I get long here and get out for 30 cents or something. But then right here when it breaks 145, you're noticing it doesn't continue down. So what I actually did here was punch back into the long. So it's like, oh man, I got like duped on that all the way down and we got stop hunted. So then I punch right back. It's been profitable because I punch back double the shares. But if I don't get out there in the first place, notice that, and then punch long again, then I'm just adding to the position I already have and without taking the L. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do is look for these wick off bottoms and wick off tops and then be more aggressive when I see them and trade accordingly. So that's my New Year's resolution.
I'll wrap things up, guys, real quick with a couple of things, and this is going to sound similar to what Neil said, but I think it's worth saying, guys, as far as profitable trading goes, one of the best things that you can do less of is what doesn't work. So one thing I want to do more of in the new year, if that makes sense, is less of what doesn't work. And how you understand that is by keeping track of your trades. So understand what type of trades A, work for you, and B, don't work for you, and take the ones that don't work and do less of that. It's hard to say you're never going to do it, but less is always going to prove to be better. As traders right across the board, the other thing that we like to always say is we want to trade more size. How do we do that? And Neil was talking about structuring trades according to your risk tolerance and the ability to take more shares. So another thing that I will do better on in the new year. One thing to wrap up, and that is holding trades longer. This year, one thing I found in my trading results is that I have been in a hurry to take profits only to see, you come back at the end of the day and the stock is maybe 50, 60 cents, $1 even more further in the money than it was where you ended the trade. So there's a few things, guys, I think that can apply right across the board. Those are trading resolutions, guys, for 2022. I think that's, I like that. We should do that more often, guys, because it's useful and it's fun and it makes you, take responsibility for your actions and take responsibility for your trading. I was just sitting here looking at this FATH, one that we talked about in the morning a little bit because we are starting to bounce back to the upside here. 750 ended up being a level. This is a crazy stock in the morning, all kinds of volume on what is actually a SPAC. Still up 20%. Remember, there was fraud charges against this SPAC for manipulating stock price. It had a huge move back to the upside today on seemingly not much news of anything, but starting to go again here for FATH, guys.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of going obviously up like 50 cents from the bottom, double bottom here. That's growth-wise a pretty good move, but really it's all about. I saw in your chart there. I mean having shorts around $9 and it gave you $9 again. I think that's where I'd get excited playing that level. I don't think it's going to happen here. And like I said, you want to be careful trading some of these names. I actually just got stopped out of BABA there, so still profitable in the last little bit, but once 120.25 broke, it looks like it's going to hold VWAP. And I think that's the kind of move that I'd need to see tested here on FATH to get involved going into the close. It would have to at least minimum test this 840, if not that $9. And if you're looking for a break, you need a monster volume spike to take you through $8. Otherwise, just be patient with it. And talk about holding things longer. I think certainly, I know you did a good example of holding that one a little bit longer here. And this is a perfect example. If you had this at 9, like it capitulated at $9, and if you actually had to short, which I was trying to get at 880, and I'm looking back at it myself, and I would have been out, and then I would have been probably all out around like on that $8 break for $1, and then it would have continued to go down to 740. So even looking at this, there might have been re-entry points around VWAP if I had traded this, if I had gotten into it. There definitely would have been an opportunity to hold it longer. And once you've got the trend, especially in a failing, a dropping stock with a low volume or a low cap runner, like once you've got the direction from the early morning shakeout on anything, a lot of times it's almost like everything's getting out of the way, right? Like the bids are getting out of your way. In this particular case, when you have a low float name running to the upside, the offers are just pulling. And when you're in that environment and you're the right way, or say the shorts are trapped and you're in a long, sometimes you just got to give it some more room. One of the ways to be able to play that is just to predetermine in your head, this percentage of the trade I am not getting out of unless X, and then make that condition something a little bit more extreme than what you might be used to so that you hold on to it longer. So I think it's a great example. I know you had this one to the short side here today, Brendan, but it gave you a lot of opportunity. I'm not sure it's got too much left in it for the final 90 minutes here.
We just get into some AMC here as we're getting ready to do our Q&A, guys. Put out hashtag TraderTVQ. The and a part won't work. We screwed that up, but put that out. We're getting ready to do it. We just did take another, this is our trade here on AMC. It finally drops. We just average. It's not really an average in. You can see my average price right now is 82. We were just taking these to see where it's going to go. And then once it fell into the 50s here, we're sitting there waiting to get long. So we just took the long here at 60 with an average price of 82 here on AMC. So let's see where we go. We are right back into this little area of support. That's what I'm calling it anyways, back down here near 27. This might break, so I don't know. I'm not really on light volume. AMC today has just like absolutely tanked here. So this may not work out for us here on what is a low volume day for AMC, 15 million shares. I'm actually debating just taking this out now for 30-cent hit at 50. And then if it holds, great, and we'll look like, we made a mistake. But for right now, there just seems to be no little reprieve at all in this name. So AMC just keeps on going to the downside. We're only long at 82, so it's like 20 cents here, but hopefully we can get back up to the upside. AMC right now teetering on low lows here.
Yeah, sorry, just not to interrupt, Brendan, but GameStop, every time AMC comes up, we're going to look at GameStop. 150 break on that, it's also down 4%, so it looks like it's trying to break down. But if you look at the levels that are holding on the daily chart here, it's still holding right within the pocket as long as it's between 140 and 150, but neither one of those looking, I guess, fantastic just yet. By the way, I don't know if you're still watching CCL, Sean.
No.
But CCL bounced off of like 20 and change and is headed back up to VWAP. So that could be hopefully potentially breaking back out in the afternoon. Worth watching that one from this morning as well.
Trying to get this chart to load here. A lot of best ofs kind of reviews coming out right now. I'll show you this real quick, guys, if we can get that. It's kind of blurry, but you'll get the idea. Anyways, this is NVIDIA, or just a comparison of the overall chip space. So they're just talking about NVIDIA on its way to 1 trillion. So NVIDIA is the orange line. Basically, the rest of the sector here below it. So that's basically NVIDIA versus the rest of the chip space below it. Advanced micro device, AMD is right there, the green line. So kind of in the group where, I mean, it's a good representation, the first one I've seen anyways, of just how good a year NVIDIA had this year.
In fairness,
is that market cap?
In fairness, like they're not really putting up like you could have put a like Marvel could be like a more of a growth name in there. They have Qualcomm, AMD, but Texas Instruments, Broadcom, Intel, right? Like there's probably a couple of like I guess higher flyers you could make it look like a more fair race because that just shows, I mean, NVIDIA blowing everyone out of the water. And I think. You know, and again, I think next year might be a different sort of category for some of those. I really do think the value plays in those in that regard are going to do a little bit better next year at Intel. I still like things like an AMAT, which is in the midst of a bit of a breakout here, and I feel like we're going to be spoiling some things that might come up in the Q&A. But why not? I sort of talked about AMAT before I left, potentially breaking out and trying to take that high. It did, and then sort of came right back. So we're still in the top end of the range. I think this could be setting up. For if there's an early year pullback on any of those higher fly tech names, or I guess the more expensive valuation growth names, then I like AMAT back at this 50 period in that 150 level. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Obviously, it's not happening, in the next day or two, maybe early next week. But I'll be looking back for this one. I think it's in the midst of a potential break. There's some concern that you could have had a failed breakout, but I think. If you start going down the stream when it comes to the chip names, there's lots of other ways to play this. We talked about ASML and the morning show. You can trade that, of course, in Europe, but there's an ADR here as well, so you can trade that, I think, on the New York Stock Exchange. It's a very, very expensive name, ASML, but it's a terrific company, and it's certainly one that bears watching that we pretty much never talk about. But there's lots to look at. I mean, I was looking at Global Foundries today. That was up 2% last I checked, and that's a name I want to get into if it can get back into those 50s.
Yeah, lots of love for the SMH. I mean, SMH was the call for me for 2021. And I mean, it's just printed. Oops, it's a NASDAQ name. Every time an ETF comes up, I go to NYSE AMEX there. But SMH here, come on, let's go NQ. It's been a great run for it. It's pulled back a little bit, I believe, over the last, I haven't really looked at it, but it's been a great little, it's just pulling off its all-time highs now on SMH. But you see a nice little move upside. This is going to look a lot like AMD and NVIDIA and a lot of these names. AMAT's chart looks like this as well. So it's been pretty bumpy the last month or so here in the semis. But I still think with Metaverse, with everything, all that nice little talk there, I believe this has tons of room to go. And again, this is just the ETF. But, sprinkle some money in some of those names that we just talked about. If you believe in, all things Internet of Things, you're going to be coming up with a lot of big things in 2022. And we talked about yesterday, fridges and whatnot that, need chips, and all the cars now. You're going to see a lot of these car manufacturers just pumping out. There's so much pent-up demand for new cars that, they're all going to be running these chips. So I don't see any, past the supply chain. If we can solve that problem, all these go to new highs and they go there pretty quickly, I think, here in 2022.
All right, a couple more worth mentioning on the best of lists, I guess, for the year. This article was just talking about Meta specifically, but some of the other social type platforms, Pins is on here, Snap and Twitter, all having really good years. I mean, Facebook up 26%, Twitter 17.9%, Pinterest 42%. Wanted to mention this one though, because I mean, Moderna's been so volatile. It's by far a standout in the healthcare sector, though, 140% jump. Obviously, COVID related, but I mean, a few names there, guys, that have been pretty impressive so far this year.
It is so easy to forget what Moderna did midway through the year, right? Like at the beginning of the year, this was sort of hovering at $120, but it really took off when it broke this 260 level, right? It doubled in essentially like a couple of months worth of trade up to 500. And because it's come right back to that monstrous breakout price, I think it's easy to sort of forget just how impressive it's been. Now, candidly, I'll say if I'm holding something in the long term, I prefer Pfizer. I like healthcare, but I think some of the safer names in healthcare could be the way to go, like your Bristol Myers, your Eli Lilly's, which all look fantastic. But Moderna, it's been holding up at these clusters pretty well, and you have to start to think that it's got a base of operations down here after that pullback, and it could break back out. Do I like it a bit better if it starts breaking this trend and getting past 280? Probably, and like I said, I like those other names a little bit better. The one I'm looking to add to was one that I just recently got into with Danaher, not related. They're not a COVID name. They're not, they're a provider. They're not a vaccine style name, but they're in the healthcare sector, and that's one I want to be adding to on weakness. There just hasn't been a heck of a lot in Danaher. But I'd be sitting Moderna out till it breaks that 280. I think it has a chance. I still prefer Pfizer, although, that's been one of those names that it's been hard not to take profit off the table recently because it just feels like it's been running a little bit hot lately, whereas Moderna is still trying to get its feet going. But it's an unbelievable run. Like, to see it still up and one of the most impressive names on the year, despite getting cut in half, tells you how crazy a year it's been.
I have to say, rest in peace to,
No.
yeah, Betty White apparently passed away. So, I mean, sad. Like, now I don't feel. We're still gonna be drinking, but yeah. Anyways, we'll pour some out for her. But apparently, weeks before her Hyundai, so that really sucks.
Legend.
So, the legend Betty White passing away. Hopefully with family, and hopefully our prayers obviously go up to. I mean, everybody out there who enjoys comedy or just straight up good acting. I mean, I can't remember. Like, I think it was it 5? Maybe 7, 8 years ago, she actually hosted Saturday Night Live.
And she doesn't miss a beat.
That was incredible, and she didn't miss a beat. She was hilarious. So, and I actually got my grandmother. I don't know if it was last Christmas or the Christmas before. I got her a chia pet, but it was like a Betty White chia pet. So that was really cool.
I'm gonna show you something which is crazy. I can't put this up on the show because I'm not connected. But 31 years ago today, my grandmother died. I only had one living grandparent. My grandfather. You know the stories about that anyway. I won't even get into his punk ass. But anyways, my living grandmother, when I was young, like everyone else had grandparents, I had one in my life, and she 31 years ago today. Young. So she shares it with Betty White, and it's like.
No, Betty White shares it with her.
That's right. She shares it with my grandmother. And my family isn't watching here, but it's that's one that hits you because, it's like. You're trying to celebrate the new year coming in, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I should have showed it, but it was just like a pop culture thing.
You know what, though? What I'm going to do,
people were talking about it.
Cover this with the wife, is I got to find a way to at least get a little bit, maybe some Golden Girls, or rewatch that SNL that she hosted. Do that tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tribute shows and stuff.
And there should be, and we'll definitely cheers here when we pop that champagne. Which, by the way, let's figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, so let's switch the gears up here a little bit because we are getting ready. We're already past our Q&A, so I have no idea. Like, Maggie's not here. Like, I don't know who's running it. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening here, but. A, we need somebody to open that champagne pretty much ASAP. B, we also need to run through some of these questions. So make sure, here we go. Make sure that we have, the questions lined up for you guys. We're ready to rock and roll, I hope soon. But I mean, Brendan's the leader
it's all under control, Sean.
Okay, exactly.
I just tasked Randy in opening the champagne. The questions are lined up and ready to go. Do we want to, do you guys want to just jump right into it, or should we get some drinks first and then jump right into it?
I think there's a lot of questions coming in the chat. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. We'll pop the champagne
as we go.
All right, I'm going to go to a Twitter question to start. I believe this was Twitter anyways. Yulia at Yulia089222342 is the handle. Has a question. Thank you for the awesome show. How long did it take you to become a profitable trader? Was there any turning moment after which you became a profitable trader? Hold on, I have to scroll over. Maybe I wasn't prepared. Was there a turning point? Oh, I already said that. What strategy did you start with, and where you taught it from? So, how long did it take you to become profitable? What strategy did you start with, and where did the strategy come from, I guess?
There we go. Look at Randy opening
Randy's hard at work.
Let's get off there. We need that
get
shot.
off there.
Rob, we need that shot for like 5 seconds, not for 25 there.
I can get this one.
Sure.
I actually like this one because, the first thing, I almost want to answer the second part, which was like not with strategy, but was there a turning moment after which you became profitable?
Go.
I was essentially, and forget about the charts here, it's not going to matter because I wasn't trading Moderna when I first started out. But I actually started out, and I think I've said this before, momentum trading on like 4 NASDAQ names. I did that in the simulator when I was with Day Trader at the very beginning, and I thought that's what I was going to do. I was going to trade stocks for momentum. I was going to buy and hold and almost like intraday swing trade. And then it was pointed out to me by, I guess it was yourself and Momi
probably
at the time. We had 2 groups in my training group, and half of them were doing like small cap stocks for small moves, rebates, and that kind of a thing. And because of my risk management profile as a momentum trader, I was just better at trading inside of a range, having tight stop, maybe taking a few more shares. It just worked better for me. So even though I was profitable and positive while doing that momentum trading, I wasn't actually growing. I was never getting to the point of graduation. I wasn't really able to hold longer or even size up. And that's something that worked a little bit better. Thank you very much.
Great. Miss V does the coffee in the morning. I got the good stuff.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers.
boys. Happy New Year.
So happy New Year to everybody. Let's get this party
we got
started.
the pour going.
Let's get this party started right, okay? Let's have a little sip here.
Oh, so much better.
Okay.
So much better.
All right.
so long story short.
Maximum share
now that I
size.
made it longer, was you can't get married to like one idea or one notion or what you want to be as a trader. Because even though I was profitable doing something, I wasn't growing doing it. And the second I started looking at
Randy's in the
small
corner.
cap stocks and eventually penny stocks, I was just really good at structuring, if I'm wrong here, I can leverage up on shares, I can be the big fish in a small pond, and that's what I ended up being better at. And once I focused on what Brendan said, stop doing what doesn't work and do what does work and do more of it, that's what it was all about. I was fortunate to be profitable quickly, but that's not everybody's journey. We know great traders, Sean, who took a year to be profitable, and it doesn't matter. Whether you take 1 month or 5 months or 1 year,
it makes no difference.
It's that you get profitable and you survive your first slump. Because everyone goes through a slump at some point. Can you come out of that profitable by learning some lessons and adjusting to adapting market conditions? That's usually the true test. When the market adjusts on you, can you adjust back? Can you go back to your basics, work on the strategies that work, sort of work on the strategies that aren't working at that time, focus on the ones that are, only put capital towards things that are giving you a positive expectancy, and be able to scale back when you need to. Those are the things that help you grow, but you never know what you're going to be good at.
No, I'll just be quick. I mean, I was lucky enough. Again, we started here with Day Trade the World. I've been here for 20 plus years. As soon as I graduated university, I came right on to the prop floor. And, I guess as they say, Bob's your uncle. We're still here. I was able to be profitable just kind of by fluke. I mean, we do have guidance and stuff like that. The market was moving. I found my way maybe a little bit earlier than Neil, but I was profitable my very first month. So that was really, really, after not being trained at all in university, it's just about throwing yourself to the fire. We have a training simulator here. So I think that was very, very important to my development and my growth as well. So that's what that is. But like Neil said, honestly, like if you take this as a job, and I think that's what you have to do, and it's just like what I say to everybody when we hired thousands of traders, and it's just like, if you want to become an accountant, you got to go through, you get your degree, there's whatever, depending, CFA, CA, whatever, there's extra classes. You want to become a lawyer, a doctor, anything like that, there's much more that you have to learn. And take the same thing into trading. Like, you don't just say, I'm going to deposit 25 grand to get out of the PDT rule. And we're going to be faster on these questions, by the way. This is just an important one. Just go right at it. Take your time. Take that 3 months. Take that 6 months. Watch our program. Develop a strategy. Make that circle of friends that have like minds. And you should be successful. So that's our little talk there. But we are going to try to fire off through these really, really fast because we do expect there to be some decent trading coming into the close. And we want to make sure to cover that as well with all your questions. So, Brenda, what up next?
Not Harold Melvin at IH8 MINRAZ. Do you use one cancels the other, conditional orders, to ensure you catch the right side of the break after consolidation, meaning a short if it breaks below or a long if it breaks above? Question 2. Actually, we'll do that and then we'll get question 2.
We use conditional orders all the time.
We talk about that all the time. I think you're referring, it's like a bracket order that you're talking about here where you like it in either direction in a consolidation break. You'll probably hear us say bracket. It's like essentially a stop at the top end and then a stop at the bottom end, right? So we will put them on. If you ever hear us say, I'm bracketing here, I like it in either direction, that's what we mean. Some platforms, it is just one order. Sometimes other platforms, you have to actually put in 2 separate orders, and one can cancel the other. Here, we do have bracket orders in the system at Daytrade the World that you can use. Yeah, make sure you understand on your platform exactly how it works, but it is just a conditional top and bottom. I think the key there is the whole one cancels the other.
Yo, let's check in on, does Pratt have his drink yet, by the way? He does. All right, put your drinks up. We're going to put Pratt and Miss V. Miss V, you got your drink? There we go. All right, cheers to you guys as well. Next question, if we have a question for Trader Pratt or Miss V, we will direct over there as well. And Robbie, you got your drink over there, buddy?
He's good.
Let's go. Let's see that camera. There it is. Okay, so, all right, so this might be a problem. We got the guy running the 1s and 2s here, getting sauced over there. This may be a problem for quality, so let's check that out. You said there was a part 2 to that question?
Part 2 is specifically when it comes to long positions, more profitable picking bottoms, off key support, VWAP breaks above or breakouts above the high of day. So when it comes to trading on the long side, what do you find the most profitable trading idea?
Yeah, so I mean, when trading on the long side, so for us, to me, it doesn't make a difference for us. Yo, what's up, Randy? For us, how's your drink, Randy? You got yours up there? All right. I noticed Randy's is more full than everybody else's, so, okay. Yeah, he probably, heavy pour on his own glass there. I noticed a little bit, Randy. I mean, I'm like halfway done here. Like, okay, we'll top it up. Okay, so for us, the long break is the same as the short break. So we can just hit one key versus the other. But it's a great question. And I'm just going to use SMH because I have it up here. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Cheers, my friend. No, but I think you put the other one in first time.
No.
No? No. Okay, I was going to say don't cross streams here. All right, thank you, my friend. All right, so basically, I just like to play everything off support. I think if you're going to be wrong on your trade, you need to know where you're wrong. So for me, I like the long breaks here, either you're playing off support. So again, I'm a little bit confused about the question if it's about breaking levels or just how to get to longs. So for me, I like when you have an idea, and I'll come to AMD for this. So today on the sticky note, we had AMD listed on there, but the levels that we liked were not where we were opening. We knew the market was going to open a little bit lower. So what we did was we went back and found some past support. Yesterday, we closed at 145. You never want to wait right at 145. You want to be able to be a little bit ahead of whatever level is your support. That way, that's your out. So look at this. You want to talk about risk to reward? You take the long here at 145.40, right? My out was always, and here's my out right here, was always going to be 145. But because the market starts to rally in your favor, what you do is you get a little bit of a blowdown here. Sometimes you don't get in, sometimes you do. But there's the fill, rips right up to the upside, giving us that $3 winner. So for me, I like to do a little bit of research, find some levels that we like, and sit in front of them off the open. That way, if it spikes down, sometimes you get picked up. It happened yesterday on Palantir at 18 as well, as the stock ripped to 1870. So that's hopefully answering a little bit of your question there.
And the best thing to do, I think in that case, and they were more talking, I think, along the lines of which idea is more profitable, is keep track of all of them. Yeah. And eventually, as time goes by, as you build your record base, you'll see, in fact, which one works the best for you. Let's go to Roy. Roy is next. I've been watching the show for over a year, and I still don't have a firm grasp on what the imbalanced locator implies. Can you please break it down?
Who wants that?
So look, it's the answer for like what it actually is the complex one, because then I have to talk about like exactly what an auction is, what happens during an opening auction, a closing auction, and then sort of give you that whole entire rundown. We have done videos on this before, but a quick look, and I'll pull up my locator because it probably makes sense to have a bit of a visual so you can see. What you're going to have is you'll have a stock. It's going to show you the direction of the imbalance. We'll get to that, the size, and then PV is the paired volume. So essentially, every single auction, people put buy and sell orders into that auction for the open, let's say at 9:30, or the close at 4 o'clock. And they can be limit orders. They can be market orders. Those get grouped. And then what they do is they pair off all of those trades so they can get an indicative open price. And if they can match them off, that is your paired volume. If you add that to the actual size, that is the amount of volume implied in that open. So in this case, and this would have been in the morning, you would have had Alcoa, do a simple one here, 20,000. It looked like it had paired to sell, and it had 3,000. It had 3,000 here. Oh, I'm doing American Airlines, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then it had 3,000 here on the actual imbalance to sell. So that means it was 23,000 shares into that auction, of which 3,000 has not been paired off, and they are sell orders that have not paired off. So it means that there are 3,000 shares unaccounted for, and it's likely that unless those are paired, it would have to trade lower than the current indicated open in order for it to, in order for those shares to get matched off. That doesn't mean that it has to open lower. It doesn't mean that the auction has to come and open to the downside, or the close opens to the downside. It's just an indication of where it sits at that particular moment. They're just taking all the buy and sell side orders and finding what is essentially left over. We get an early look in the afternoon when we talk about it. We'll get an early look at like 350. Going into the last 10 minutes as to what those might be. And the idea would be that if there's 1 million shares unpaired to buy on, say, Apple, maybe the stock trades higher going into the close because there's a lot of buy interest going into that close. Doesn't mean it has to, because sellers can put orders into the market on close, the closing auction, to offset that 1 million. And if that happens, it could print exactly wherever it happens to be trading at that moment. It's a longer answer to get really technical with it, but we've done videos on it. Please check out our page. And then, maybe we'll do another one in the future. We always try to go over it during rebalance days. Arun does a fantastic job, better than I have here, at going through that. So you can always check out one of those.
All right, let's go to Shareman. Shareman next. Could you describe how to use pre-market highs or lows and the previous day's highs and or lows to enter or exit trades?
Sure. I mean, that's exactly what we just did there on AMD. I mean, I can always bring you to some different examples here. Okay, so we could do SoFi first of all. If you want to look at yesterday's high and low, I mean, it's probably better to use a 20-minute chart. I'm going to address the $10 super chat as well. Yeah, so basically all we really do here, and the question is about, using the closes of the previous day. I mean, here yesterday, SoFi ripped all the way upside, closes around, actually, you know what, maybe I shouldn't use this. It's going to be too hard to figure out where the closing prices are. But, I'll use AMD because that's a better example for me anyways. Yesterday, AMD closed at 145 flat right here. So here's the closing price on AMD. A beautiful move down, closes at 145. So I use this 145 as the support area, right? So you get a bump up, and I'm just thinking if AMD is going to go red today, it has to break this 145. So you judge that against the market, and I just like to use that area of support and resistance. So yes, we do use that, and then even past tops yesterday as well. Like the top yesterday, 148.80. So, look where we went to today as the high, 148.60. Look where I used my out as, right there, 148.30. So we use yesterday's high as a gauge to see, hey, how far can we go here? Is there enough momentum in the market to carry this through? I gave it a little bit of chance here to try to go. It didn't go, and we got out on the way back down. So, using yesterday's high maybe as some resistance, or I guess in this situation, it would be resistance, and then yesterday's low or closing price as a high. So as a level of support there. So that's that. Someone just said something in my ear, but I'm going to throw it back over to Brendan no matter what. Ms. V.
Hey guys, great shot. I just wanted to tell you that please put hashtag Q and ask your question so we can easily find your question and we'll be able to reply to many more of them. Hashtag Q and then type your question.
Let's get another one of those right now. What makes you guys keep doing day trading? By the way, love you guys with good vibes every single day. Red heart. So what makes you get up in the morning and continue to do what we do?
This person that sent it in, it's like, we have a little thing that says, life is good, but it could be better. That came from. That's why, because ultimately, you do what's profitable. So when I came into day trading, I had no idea that I'd still be doing it 20 years later. I was just happened to be profitable doing it, and it's a lot of fun. You find something that you're good at that's rewarding, and a trading floor is a really fun environment if you can't tell. A lot of like-minded individuals you get to talk with, and we have a blast. Trading is fun, man. I don't know what to tell you, but it's also a great career because you eat what you kill. You know what we mean? Like you earn a commission here as a prop trader, or you trade your own money and you earn from there. So you are your own boss. Yes, you might have a risk manager, but that's a very satisfying and rewarding way to make a living. Day trading just happens to be the way that I started, and that's what we happen to be doing here and be good at. So yeah, it's as simple as that.
Quickly here, when you're about to buy a breakout long, thank you for the super chat. Criminal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, when you're trying to buy a breakout and you're looking at 38 bucks, for example, where are you buying? 38.01, 38 flat, something like that. So I have two examples today. Yeah, you're right on this one, 38.01. So if you're waiting for the breakout, it actually needs to break out. Sometimes though, I don't mind, and it depends on the liquidity on the stock. I'm going to use an example here of CPOP. It didn't work today, but here it is right here. It's the high of the day, 340, right? So here's the break. I just use the wick. Sometimes you don't use wicks. You might just want to use the top of a candle, but I like to use a wick on this stock. So as soon as it breaks this 341, I'm getting long, and I'm putting the long at 342. It happened to be that there was some decent liquidity here, but that's the break that you're looking for. I don't take it before, I take it as it's breaking. So that's that answer. Then yesterday on Lucid, a little bit of a better example here on Lucid, when we put it on our sticky note. I have the sticky note right here as well. It was buy, here it is right here. You won't be able to see it, but it's buy 37s right there on Lucid. And so that happened yesterday in the morning. My trade's not going to be here, but here it is right here. So looking at this 37, right? These 37 tops are almost 37 exactly in the pre-market. Sure, you have a high there of 37.10, but I took this break of 37 all the way up. So let it settle down, wait for it to break the levels, and then I put a 37.02 or 01 bid. And then what I do is trigger price. So if I want 37 break, I'll put the trigger price at 01 and then the limit price like at 10 or something like that. So you have to account for slippage, right? So here on Lucid, what slippage means, if we can show the level 2, is if I want a 38.40, well, 41, there's lots of size. So the slippage here might be 2 or 3 pennies at most, right? Because if you want to break, you're going to get it because liquidity. But if you go over to a stock like, someone said Twilio this morning, so let's go over to that quickly. You know, a little bit more of an expensive name. Look at the spread here, 20 to 30 pennies. So if you want a 50 break, like right there, it just broke 51, the next best price is 56. So you're going to need to cross up at least 6 or 7 pennies on more volatile names. So thank you for the super chat. Great questions, guys. Keep them coming.
Patrick Gervais, you are next. I'm in Palantir for 6 months. My average price is currently $27.33. How can I play with it? Do I need to buy more, but the amount is very high, and he's a bit stressed about it. So $27.33 average on Palantir. What to do?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can replace Palantir with any name at this level, right? I mean, you know, you're going to sit here and say, I'm stuck long at this price. What am I going to do? You can't do it. What? I mean, I don't really know what to tell you, Patrick. I mean, you're stuck long, and that's like a lot of people. I'm stuck long on a lot of names, so a lot of us. If you've played any of these names over the last little while, you're stuck long. I think the important thing to understand is when you make a trade, what is the plan of action? How long were you planning on holding that, right? I mean, you can't average down until oblivion because then eventually the stock could go down. You've seen PaySafe for me. You've seen Clover for a lot of us as well. You've seen Virgin Galactic. There's a lot of names.
Let's say Lemonade for me too.
Yeah, Lemonade. There's lots of names that we all like here. And the idea really is understand why you're in the game. And for me on Palantir, just to talk a little bit, it's basing out right now. I don't think this is a horrible spot to add shares, but honestly, this thing was $9 at the beginning of the year. So Palantir, even though it's at 18, still a double up for that, but you're stuck long up here. And yeah, it's honestly, it's not a great spot, man, to be caught up here down $10 on the trade, Patrick. But I like Palantir for the long run. I've talked about why. So if you continue to listen to the show, maybe we can talk more and more about the name. But honestly, I like it. I think there's a lot of other traders out there that like it as well. It is going to be a longer term play. I think you're fine. But again, like you shouldn't really be trading with money like that you really can't afford to lose. Like I'd rather, if you're stuck long at 27 and you're like, oh man, I can't lose on this trade, I'd rather you put a stop like, you know, at its 50 period moving average or something, you know, 25, 26, something like that. But that's needless to say because the trade is over with. So I just wish you luck moving forward. And look, I think it's going to be a big 2022, and I think Palantir works. So hopefully it does.
All right, let's go to Stephanie Gilbert next. Hi from Quebec. For 2022, best ETF to buy and hold. Great show because you are the best. Thank you.
Do we have a time frame on that?
No, I'm going to throw this to Trader Prad. I mean, Prad, are you ready to rock and roll? Because Trader Prad's actually holding an ETF right now. So let's go over to Trader Prad because I think both of us agree with this space. Are you cool with this, Trader Prad? You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw it to Trader Prad. Go ahead, buddy.
I think you're talking about my Metaverse ETF. Honestly, the whole idea behind it is just I want to invest in the Metaverse, but I can't buy too many shares of Facebook and Roblox that would, help me out getting the move that if it starts going to the upwards. Looking to invest in the futures, maybe a year or two out at least minimum. And if Metaverse is the future, then I can't wait for this ETF to just go rocket ship to the moon.
All right, so let's call it up on it. It's just META, isn't it?
It's just Meta.
Okay, if Neil do you have it up?
I got the daily up here just to sort of reinforce that a little bit.
If and when it loads. Yeah, there we go.
load. That's the thing for 2020. There's a resolution. Let's
my resolution is get better charts, but we're not in control of that.
Look, if you look, the Metaverse is going to take a while to get out. I like it as well. I think it's a good play. Just always, anytime you're investing in any ETF, if you already have holdings in a group, make sure if you're holding a bunch of names that might be in that ETF, you don't necessarily want to overload. If you've already got Nvidia, if you're already heavy in the chip space, you might want to consider your exposure there. You can always trim something like an Nvidia position if you're going to be adding Meta. You might want to do something like that, or just if you hold maybe you're holding the semiconductor ETF or something along those lines. But I'm sort of with you. If you like growth, that's not a bad place to put it in there. And look, there's a lot of questions here, and certainly I'm going to try on the side because I know we're getting a lot in the chat. Maybe answer a few in the chat if we don't get to them because we were getting a lot here. Maybe we will go until 4 o'clock.
Yeah, there's a lot to say the least, guys. Stacey Ann Thompson, you are next. The position that you guys hold down the bottom is that. Hold on one sec. The position that you guys hold down at the bottom, is that what you bought the stock at? Oh, I see what she's saying. The lower third. So she's saying, is that what this price on the lower third is what you bought or sold the trade at?
Right here, I'm in XCRS. You can see 307 at the bottom. That is
I'm in 5
It's current average price, right? So I was in this multiple times, but it's always going to show the current position. It doesn't mean that that's the first place I bought it or the last place I bought it. It just means that's my current average price that I'm holding. And in Sean's case as well, it's always showing our current positions, entry point, direction, stock, and the average price.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the second part of that was it or is it where you plan on getting out? And the answer is obviously where they are in currently. So Mo is next. When you guys are buying Bitcoin for long term, do you have a 100% stop loss with a 100% profit target as well?
No, I don't have any targets at all for Bitcoin. I mean, I'm just, when I'm sitting here buying, we'll talk about Bitcoin, BTC. I bought some yesterday. It's going to look like a bad move as it's coming down in here today. I just, Bitcoin, honestly, if we call up, that's a minute chart. Let me just call up a day chart here. This is just like, I kind of feel like, honestly, you're just firing darts. What you're trying to do is, and I've talked about this on the show a little bit, try to look at Bitcoin as if it was a stock now. There's enough data in here to sort of look at this thing and say, you know what, this is trading pretty controlled. You're not seeing the move. Remember, like a year ago, we were 10 grand base. At this time we were 20, and then we ran up to 70 this year. So it's been a big move up, but these are like parabolic moves. The year of 2021 has basically been calm down on Bitcoin. We have institutional investors in here right now, and I bought yesterday at 47,000. It's now back down. Prad was like all mad that he didn't get it, and now he can get a better price. So. Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what Bitcoin's all about. It's going to run. These altcoins are going to be up 7, 8%, and sometimes in 10 minutes. Don't look at it like a stock. You really just have to believe in the ecosystem and what Bitcoin is all about. And I think that as a hedge against inflation, as a hedge against what the free world's printing press just keeps on printing money. So I think Bitcoin works. I think it works going forward. I'm a buyer of Bitcoin, but absolutely no price targets. Like, even if it breaks 30, I'm still not getting out. Like, I'm not investing any sort of capital in this thing that's going to bankrupt me. So, you know, if you put your life savings in it, then I think you got to look at some key levels. But hey, nobody knows truly where Bitcoin's going. For every professional that says it's going to 100 grand, you're going to find a Michael Burry or somebody like that, professional, that says it's going to 10 grand.
So I want to quickly throw this one in here because there's a piece by the Black Swan author, Nassim Taleb, who actually was a backer of Bitcoin and has actually reversed his course that I need to read. Because I respect him, and again, I believe in it and I hold it. I just want to get his contrarian opinion because I'm curious as to what he's changed.
So he's gone to negative.
Yeah, and look, and it's not to say that I'm going to go negative because he has, but I like reading opposing views. Like, I love devil's advocate. I love thinking of it in that way. Like, where could I be wrong about something? So that's one thing I want to read because I saw that when I was on vacation. I know I shouldn't be doing that, kind of try to step away from the markets. But yeah, he recently flipped heads on Bitcoin himself. So I'm curious what his thoughts were.
Continue along here. This is Chris. I'm a momentum day trader, but sometimes screw my average up when scaling in and out on pullbacks. How do you scale in and out on a fast runner to the long side? Thank you, Chris.
Have a plan. I look at it this way. Like, if I don't mean to have scale in and scale out before I make the trade, then I try not to do it, right? It's just if I don't have levels to work off or an anticipated plan, then I'm gonna stay away from it. And I think that's what I was getting at with NTRB in structuring sort of long positions. Like, there was a tight scaled sort of pullback at the open, which I think was something I talked about at the beginning of the show, or at least for our resolutions wanting to do. But if I don't have a plan of action, like this is my out on the scale in on the way down, which it might have been 650, let's say, then I'm not making an addition there. Because if I don't know what level of risk I'm adding to the position, then I'm not going to do it. Because then I get put to that decision at 650, and I don't know, do I trim half of it? Do I get it all out? And if I make a breakout trade here at 725 or at the halt price, I have to know where my out is going to be in that regard. I talked about the break at 850, feeling if my stop was going to be 770 and that's a hard stop, then I can structure a risk there. Let's say if you have 1,000 shares and you only want to lose $1,000, you know, you can only lose like that, that 10 pennies or sorry, that dollar in the trade. It's just one of those very, very quick things you want to do. Know where your out is going to be, structure the trade in that regard. If you know you want to be averaging in, don't get into that full lot. And understand what price areas am I likely to want to add at, what is my overall stop loss, what is my stop out going to be, and then reverse that math. How many times can I add, and where can I do it? If you do all that in advance enough, eventually you start to be really, really quick at making those decisions because you've practiced making them once you've determined those price levels. But average in is a matter of a plan as opposed to just doing it on the fly.
Hey guys, Bally P on the chat is looking where I can buy our merchandise. So I'll quickly show to you Bally P. Hope you're watching. So go to our homepage. This is our homepage, and right here you can see store button. Click on it, and here we go. You can see all our merch in here. So simply click on the item, choose the proper size, quantity, and order. It will arrive right at your door. Bally P. Brandon?
Great stuff. Thank you. Raju is next. What's up, Raju? Did any of you hit your daily loss limit during the year? If so, what is your mental approach to being locked out for the day? I'll go first. I did. It was trading an IPO. I was trying to think of which one it was, but I can't remember. It was one of the IPOs. We were sitting here all morning long and then into the afternoon, and it opened and instantly went the wrong direction, and I got shut down. So, no, it wasn't DWAC. Robbie said DWAC. Guys.
Well, DWAC's not an IPO. But
it's not an IPO. Look, it's happened to me. You guys see on the side, like sometimes I've talked about this where I'll trade stocks that don't move or like leverage buyouts and sort of spread trade. And sometimes I can get in big positions. And I've been shut down doing that and don't even talk, because it's not trades that I talk about in the show because it's not something you guys would do. But I've been shut down doing it. And I think the first thing you have to understand is we have a daily loss limit at Day Trade the World. So we come into every single day knowing how much we can lose, right? But I think if you don't have that, you need to set your own limit and be good with it. And when I say that, it's like you've determined it in advance. So if you hit it, that's a level you can live with. And it's the cost of doing business. So when I have a shutdown day, it's like it's within that limit. It's like, okay, ho-hum. It hurts the first couple of times, but you really have to approach each day, and it's a kind of a bit of a trick, is if I'm down that much. Like when I sit down, I'm already prepared to lose that loss limit. So if you lose it, That's just the cost of business and doing it that day, and it doesn't hurt. And if you lose that amount, whatever you determine, and it does sort of affect you, then you have to reevaluate that number for yourself. Like I said, we have loss limits here, Day Trade the World, because it's a prop floor. But if you're not doing that, you've got to make sure that you're determining what that number is for you. And if you've picked a good one, then it should be an amount that you can handle. It's like sitting down at a poker table at the casino. And look, if you're not comfortable playing 10-20, then sometimes you have to scale it back. If you can't make the right decisions, well, then like you're getting emotional about it, the pots are getting too big, well, then scale it back. It's about making quality decisions regardless of how much is at stake. So make sure you're playing at that level.
Yeah. I was lucky enough not to hit it. I actually look back, I didn't even have a negative week this year. So, I mean, it was such a fantastic year for all of us. But, yeah, so I was just really on one this year and really happy about it. I think it was my second best year of all time. So I never hit my loss limit, but could hit it at some point. So yeah, I would just say you move on when you hit it, and that's the cost of doing business. That's the one big thing. It's not like I'm not like saying that being proud of. I mean, I'm proud of not doing that, but it's just a matter of risk, right? I mean, if I put on more risk, then there would be a chance that I would get shut down when you're wrong. So they kind of go hand in hand. That's why it's not super important that, honestly, it's just about what Neil said. Hit some of your goals, make sure that you keep doing that pretty consistently, and sometimes trades are going to go against you and they're going to wipe you out, like that IPO. Like, we don't have any price discovery on IPOs. You could make one trade and bang, it just kills you just like that. So yeah, it is possible to do that, and I just hope to avoid it, but hey, it's just part of the business, man. It's like the best hitters of all time still have games where they're 0 for 4, 0 for 5, things like that, right? So you got to sort of take the good with the bad on that one.
Or 0 for a week or two as well. No, it seems to be those are the trades that kind of stand out in your mind as well at the end of the year when you're looking back, the ones that didn't work at all. Scormsy with a question. Given the leverage opportunities in futures, what has prevented you from actively trading them throughout your career?
I suck at it. It's not,
nothing really.
That's not cheap. Like it's really nothing. It's you trade what you're good at, right? Like, I would love to be a futures trader. I think there's tremendous opportunities there. It's not the thing that I'm best at, and you have to be able to admit that when you're trading. Like, if you're better at trading the ERBs of the world, then you do that. If you're better at trading the Palantirs of the world, then you do that. If you're a Arun and you're best at trading the futures, then that's what it's all about. Trading is about making money. You've got to take everything else away from it, out of it, and just say do what you end up being best at, because there are a lot of ways to capitalize in moving markets, and it's not only one way to be able to do it. You have to find what works for you, find what patterns speak to you, find what types of or style of trade you can be more disciplined with, right? So, it's different for everybody, and there's like tremendous opportunities trading the futures. That's great if you can. It's not what I ended up being the best at doing. I've done it in the past, and I'm not Arun, I'm not Sean, I'm not Brendan. I think everybody is sort of the same way. You've got to find your own personal niche when it comes to trading, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. I mean, sometimes you'll see me stepping in the queues or the spiders. So, yeah, it's just a matter of, and honestly, part of why we don't really trade the futures super aggressively is the point of the show, right? And that is that we want to cover some names, and then it's just too hard. It takes a lot of focus. There's a lot of capital required, not a lot of capital, but a lot of, mind capital involved in making a trade on the futures. And honestly, it's just not something that fits the profile, in my opinion anyways, of the show and what you guys want. Because if Neil and I are just here analyzing the futures, then we're going to miss some of the moves that you guys want. So that's why. And that's why we have Arun on the show. An absolutely fantastic question. Let's get a question for Brad here at some point here, Brendo.
I was wondering if we could even grab Arun, but he's probably busy at this point. Guy at LAX has a two-parter. He had one for you, Sean, specifically for you. Can you give any more details on either a Day Trade the World Fest or FAM in Toronto, or a better location like Las Vegas? Spring Fest in Vegas would be great. Make it happen, Sean.
You know my vote.
Okay. I mean, yeah, let's go, man. We'll bring Ms. V. We'll celebrate it, and we'll go diamond handing it and everything like that. But look, I mean, honestly, we've been trying to organize.
COVID, man.
Well, we haven't been trying. Exactly. We haven't been trying to organize something, but you guys know that we're all over this, man. We're going to invite Trader TV, Randy, Rob, Neil, everybody, the whole party. We really just want to celebrate the success of the show and then build a community. So I'm all over that. I mean, if we could do something in Vegas, maybe near the trading convention, something like that, that's there. Neil's never been to Vegas. Vegas.
never been to Vegas.
I've painted that town over and over again. I love old Vegas. The wife and I, there's pictures of us lying on our back in old Vegas, like drinking, doing shots. My wife actually got a tattoo on the Vegas Strip there as well, and it was.
I don't think you told me that. I don't think I heard that.
Well, she was wearing. So we were wearing. This is a story. So we met Run from Run DMC, Rev Run, right? And so the thing is that we were wearing our Run DMC. Well, no, this is the story. Wrong way. So we went to the tattoo parlor. I don't know why. I know why. Okay, to get a tattoo. And listen to this story, Neil. So you know the name of our old dog. The tattoo artist's name was Guido.
No.
And he was wearing a Run DMC shirt.
That's okay.
And Marissa, I mean, she might even be in the chat. Maybe she can verify this. I don't know if she's in there or not. But she wanted a tattoo, and this dude was like, yeah, let's do this. And, we might have been a little intoxicated, but we were of age, so it's all good. And we got a tattoo there. So, hey, let's go and I'll get Trader TV tattoos there.
I loved Guido running around our trading floor back in the day.
Yeah, he was a little pug there. Guido, the Italian pug. May you rest in peace, my brother. We love that dog, my very first dog. So that's a story there about Vegas, but let's do that up. For sure, we'll do something in Toronto, and hopefully we can fly somewhere at some point and do a bigger one.
All right, Guy at LAX has a two-parter. Second parter is for Miss V over here.
Yes.
Which basket of stocks, not just Tesla, do you want to focus on once you trade live, Miss V?
Thank you for a great question, Guy at LAX. Well, first of all, I still want to keep my eye on Tesla in the new year. And when I go live, I want to concentrate more on small cap stocks because, again, as a starting trader, we have like $50 availability to go down. So I want to be really pay more attention to my risk management and probably trade less expensive names, not such as Tesla. Back to you.
Great answer. I think one of Miss V's resolutions for 2022 is in fact trading live. We have to definitely get you live. Trey Mendel, no relation to our very own Jeff Mendel. Different spelling, but what's up, Trey? Throughout the year 2021, what was your essential strategy to profiting in the stock market, and what are you going to bypass doing in 2022? Great question.
Wow, these questions are like pretty in depth. Like, wow. Okay, so I mean,
for me, like essential strategy, I think is determining where you're wrong before you get into it.
Yeah,
Like have an idea. Like you can. It's all well and good to know the stock you want to trade or the price entry that you have. Just what does wrong mean? And answering that question gives you sort of the confidence to get into the trade and maybe leverage up on it. And what are you looking to bypass? I think you guys know what I'm going to say, and it's going to be not getting married to one direction and sort of taking advantage of price levels in both directions. I'm going to bypass only having a particular bias on a stock and trying to play. If you're going to trade something heavily that day and you're going to be in and out of it, try not to get married to only one direction in some of those stocks, right? Like NTRB is my example today, and I can't say that enough because you've got to find something that is both related to your, like, not something necessarily new, but a tweak on something that you already do to leverage your experience. And that for me is going to be it. It's not getting married to only one direction.
I'm trying to log into our watch list here, and it goes, I'm not registered, but I am. So I don't know what's going on here. But for me, yeah, look, this content has been logged. Okay, I probably just have to click log in here. Anyways, okay, I'll do this after. But let's see if this works. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here to go. So again, my strategies this year, sort of, let's see if we can divide these up a little bit here, has really been, honestly, is just to do enough research. And you know, Brendan, Valeria, everybody on our team put together the watch list here today. And then I have the sticky notes. So my main strategy is kind of to look over this watch list, pick and choose some names here that I believe, you know, do have some kind of reason to go up. I look at past sticky notes as well. I keep these all on my desk, past notes to look at, and then just kind of play off one and the other. So my main strategy really has been to look at market movers, and this is a brand new thing for me this year. Well, really for the show. So the past 2 years, generally speaking, I would just come in and kind of like Neil, trade almost the same names almost every single day. That's why I really like Microsoft. You know, that just goes back there, Apple, things like that. So very familiar with trading some of those. But because of the show, it's really allowed me to like focus on new names and just give you guys some quality here on a day-to-day basis. Because if Neil and I just trade the same names, then it's just simply not going to be entertaining. I don't think so anyways for you guys.
Did you get your refill?
So, no, I've asked Randy for a refill, but
we're going to do this. Well, you don't have a glass, but this is a cheers to Mitchell Williams. The $50. Thank you for the super chat, first of all. You've been fantastic for the show. And we recognize that. But
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. What happened to the booze? Like, how did we go?
Empty?
How did we go through 2 bottles?
Randy.
Brendan, of course, Brendan.
Randy.
We're seriously out.
It was Randy. It was Randy.
It's 3:14, Randy. Stealing my reward points from Tim Hortons. Now stealing.
You knew it was going to happen.
Okay. Well,
Boring the entire
I'm out of
time.
here. That's it. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I had nothing. I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with it.
That's why Rob was on the board by himself, because Randy was
Hey,
just
who has the
hanging out at
reddest
the
nose? Because that happens, like if you're drinking too much. Anyways, okay, so no, Neil, I did not get a refill.
Okay, so anyways, but just to finish up, Mitchell Williams, he said Chi-Town pizza on him as always.
Yes, sir.
I love Chi-Town. Uno is a place to go. Chicago, fantastic city. I can't wait to get back.
Okay, you know what
there.
we're going to do on that one? I'm going to find the best Chi-Town place in Toronto. There has to be one that's legit. And then next
Can
week.
you get deep dish that good
That's what
here,
we're
though?
going to find out.
I don't know if you can here.
We're
Like,
good. Yeah,
deep
I don't
dish-
know either. This is what
Yeah.
we're gonna, Neil. We're gonna find out
Okay.
if we can get
skeptical.
some deep dish pizza. I don't know. Neil just sees deep dish, sees Chicago, and is like, "That's it, we're there." Yeah. So shout out to the Chicago Bears. Sorry that you're in my division as well, but yeah, shout out. Thank you, Mitchell Williams. We will. I'm going to find a deep dish pizza place. So join us early next week. We will find a deep dish place, and we'll have a slice each, guys.
Yeah,
I
let's
promise you that. Let's go.
All right. Immersing is here.
Pineapples on the deep dish. No,
Can you imagine? Like, what would-
That's actually worse.
Deep
by the
dish
way.
That's not
with-
happening.
No.
That's
not
worse
happening.
than pineapple on regular pizza.
What is the traditional? I
If
think
you
is just.
change deep dish with pineapple, I swear to God.
No, that was just a joke. As soon as I
There's
said it,
lots
I was
of
like,
meat.
no, you guys saw that.
We gotta
You can
follow.
rewind the tape there. We kid Neil about that, but honestly, I think it's just traditional, just cheese and pepperoni. I think
Yeah,
is.
keep
But
it
there's
simple.
like there's a lot of it. Like there's a lot of.
Oh, I know.
meat.
It's like a
Yeah.
lasagna, pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right.
All right, let's
Mersing. What is the main purpose of a stock split, and why don't companies like Amazon and Google split their stocks?
Okay, so I answered this
It's
in the chat.
completely up to them.
It's up to them. It used to just be to broaden the base, right? So it makes it cheaper to own shares with a minimum board lot, so that you broaden the types of shareholders that you have in the company and the types of investors. Now with fractional shares and sort of more ways to get active in the market, it doesn't matter as much. So that's why a lot of companies don't bother doing it anymore. If there weren't fractional shares, I think some of those names probably would have already made splits. But now that you can trade like one lot, it doesn't matter as much.
And a company will reverse split to stay over $1.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly,
the other
yeah.
thing. So we saw that with Naked Brands, NAKD.
Oh, yeah, what's that doing to
Yeah, you missed it, actually. They split 15-1. So they were down here. You can see on a daily chart here. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I bet you for sure. You see this? You can't be under for 40. I think it's 45 days. And I mean, Brendan can double check this, but you can't be, like, look at this. You know, in September, rips to $1, right? Then trades under. Then all of a sudden, magically, 45 days later, it goes up to $1 again or so, I believe. Anyways, $1.01, then gets faded out. Then all of a sudden, they reverse split. So if you stay under $1 for a certain amount of time and cannot produce, the right assets and the right, balance sheet, things like that, then the NASDAQ will send you back down to the pink sheets or delist you. So that's a reason for a reverse split. Let's go to the next question.
All right. Criminal. When you say you're buying a breakout, this is similar to a previous question, but
Super chat.
yeah. Oh, was it the same person?
Is it the $38 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same question. Move on. But that's a
Okay.
great question. And thank you
Putting those
for the
in.
super chat. We do put a penny higher or more than the breakout price. So
I see. Okay. Ivan, what are your guys' favorite indicators to use? There's tons out there, so it's hard to pick the right ones.
Oh goodness, our chats.
we'll do
honestly,
Neil, then we'll go to Trader Pratt. So Trader Pratt, get one lined up.
Number one indicator for me is volume. I happen to have VWAP up there as well, but volume is the only must on your chart because it's very versatile, right? And I have an idea that I think maybe Trader Prad's going to talk about one that I think is cool. I don't want
Let's
to put him
just
on
wait
the
to
spot,
see.
but we'll see what he talks about there. But I try to keep it simple. Volume is a must on every single.
Trader Prad's locked in the closet, so he doesn't really hear the question. So I had to put that in the chat for him there. It's just what indicator, if there is any, that you do like, Trader Prad. If you're ready, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's throw it.
Yeah, my go-to would be the moving averages or exponential, 50, 100, and then VWAP. And besides that, I guess my only indicator that we don't have is volume profile. My go-to would be volume profile.
Right, good job there. Yeah, we are looking to add volume profile on our charts, but I think it's what TradingView has it. So he likes to use TradingView for volume profile. That's a very interesting one. We did do a video on volume profile, so you can go over to our Market Wisdom and find out our volume profile video, guys.
Okay, Dr. Dan is next. He wants to know how to read options data near the expiry day to reside the direction, and is there a science in putting trade value in fraction near a whole number psychologically?
Daniel Shea's coming on Thursday. We'll save that question for Thursday.
You know what? I'm going to send it to her right now.
So, and this is the thing. Like, there's a lot of, like, we could try to fake an answer for you. It's like, no, I'm not an options expert. I'm not going to answer that question when we're going to have Daniel. She's on next week, I think.
Yeah, she's on Thursday.
She's on. Make sure you tune back in on Thursday. We'll ask her that question because you want to make sure you're getting someone in their specialization, and that's what she does, and that's whose answer you definitely want to hear. And it's all about being humble about it. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend to be an options expert.
I will send it to her right now. Sir Shendu Meiti, is ISIG at a good entry point? It seems to be finding a support level.
Are we talking the day trade here?
I mean, I guess we're talking about a trade here, just real quick here. Okay, so ISIG, I mean, again, another stock. Yeah, this is a stock trading show. Normally, if you join us every single day, we're all over this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, why not? I think this is entering into a good level right here. $21, you've seen some consolidation. This is just a 20-minute chart, so this goes back a couple days, back down to the 28th, where we have a bottom of 18 bucks. You know, I think just for a risk-reward profile here. Now, the thing about it is it's obviously a low float, so my only worry on ISIG is a share offering. So that's, you know, with this price, obviously, I mean, it was down. It was a dollar name, right? Not too long ago, but we can, anyways. On the there it is on the daily chart. So we were down to $5. This is $5 back in December 1st, right? So 5 all the way to 35, and back down in, right? So just be careful that there's not another share offering coming or a share offering, which sends this price reeling all the way back, probably down to honestly $12, $13, $14 back down in here on a share offering. So I don't like to hold this thing over the weekend for sure. But if this was a day trade and we opened up on Monday and we opened up somewhere around 19 and 20, then I think that's an absolutely fantastic price. You do have a lot of support down here at 16 or 17. So for me, as long as you are willing to hold it from 21 or 22 down to 16 or 17 and you can afford that kind of a hit, then I think ISIG does have the potential on a low float to go back up. Good question, and I like it. Let's go to the next one.
All right, Miss V and I are laughing about the next one. I will answer this. Starlight Starbright wants to know why the workstations in the background of the shot are empty. The answer, COVID.
One guess.
Yeah.
Day Sports Cards. Every day I see stocks in the post pre-market that have ripped up hundreds of %. How the heck can we find these stocks to get in before that happens?
Before?
You know, volume spike indicator. Look, news catalyst is number one. A lot of times you will actually see some of these on our watch list in the morning, and they're up 20 or 30% before they go fully ham. Like if you look at, look, the perfect example of that is, and I'm coming right back to NTRB, because we were talking about this morning. I talked about how I needed to have longs in positions like this. Yes, it was already gapping up over 50%, but it didn't make the move till up over, I mean, it closed at $4. Over 200% till later in the day. That gave you a consolidation. It was on the halt page for halting in the morning. That's one way you could have looked at it. It was on our watch list. That's another way you could look at it. It's going to have a volume spike at the open and break high of the day. There are plenty of platforms, I know Trade Ideas is one of them, that'll give you some screeners for high day breaks on volume that you can use. So lots of ways that you can do it. But it starts with understanding what you want to look for. Find a place like us that gives a watch list, and then scan for volume and look at some things that are gapping up that are showing signs of strength, and that's the case here. And if you're looking for gains that are that big, always monitor the halt page.
I was going to say also, if you look at ISIG here, you know, what you're kind of looking for is you see how it's basing out down here, like around $5. So that's something, and it's already had the potential. Like, so you're just trying to find names that has a possibility of running, right? We actually have one today that I'm in right now, out 9 cents. That's MDDR. If you look at a daily chart here, look, it's already had the potential to make moves from $1 up to $3, $4, $5, right? So you look for names that maybe have already done this in the past that are kind of cruising near some of these lows, right? So MDDR today, on any kind of good news, we know that it has the potential to go up. So that leads me to that ISIG again, the same kind of thing here, where we've already popped up here once, and now you're down into some levels of support. So yeah, it's just worth taking a shot. But I mean, for every one that goes like this, there's 50 that don't. So I would say your best bet is just to pay attention and try to get in on the pre-market if you do see volume ramping up.
And join us every single morning, guys, at 8:30. We'll talk about all of these. Trader Cat would like to know, for a prop firm trader, how is profitability measured, and what level of profitability is competitive, like monthly percentage relative to buying power?
Your competition is against yourself, and every strategy is going to be
different. It's kind of like golf.
Yeah, like exactly. You're competing against yourself. So that's where it starts. What level of income you make is all about you meeting your own goals. I'll start there. But the other thing to consider is it can't just be a percentage, because let's imagine a scenario. If you do something like spread trading, like I would say, like you'll put tons of capital to work in each particular trade to take small amounts of money each time. That's vastly different from getting in one shot on NTRB and taking 30% gains. So every strategy is going to be different. Develop your own personal strategy. Try to find where you're wrong first. Understand what you need to make a living, whether it's like a certain level because it's your part-time job or to sustain yourself as a trader. Find out what that is, then look at what your strategies are gleaning you, and then try to scale to that level first. But again, every strategy is going to be different in terms of how much capital you put in terms of percentage out. And it's not one size fits all. And anybody that tells you, oh, you've got to make X percent as a day trader, that's absolute and utter nonsense, because no one straight strategy fits all. So you've got to find your own little bit of a pocket. And trading small caps versus large is going to be vastly different. That's why we try to focus on the notion behind a trade. Like, where am I in? Where am I out? What is my thought process on this particular style of strategy, so that you can develop it and maybe start thinking along those lines. And someone asked a question, I've read it in the chat. We always say focus on your niche, and I do say that a lot, but then we trade different styles. We develop those one at a time. Like, you don't start out trading 10 different styles of strategies. You do one, you figure it out, then you try to build on another. You figure that one out, then you build on another. And you develop it that way. Don't try doing 10 styles of trade when you first start out. Try doing one. Like one that works for you.
Yeah, like for example here, just back to trading right now, CPOP just popped up here, right back to pre-market highs again, right? So right back to the level, and look where this thing stopped. We talked about this, we have almost an exact question about this here from that criminal. Like, what levels do you look at? Look, this goes right back, literally almost to the penny here, 1 penny away from a level that we've already been at. So if you're long CPOP down here, which we were trying to, unfortunately we didn't get it. But well, I don't know why we didn't get it. We should have been bidding down here at $3. But look at that, popping right back in, and we take it out. I'm also holding SoFi, Peloton, MDDR, and AMC as we do this, right? So light positions, but always monitoring what's going on. So that's that. Look, we're gonna have to be pretty quick here, guys. We don't have too much more to go. But the one thing is, and just to bring it back to the show, I guess you don't really like this. So we probably won't do a Q&A anymore, because like 500 likes, there's 2,500 people watching. I mean, I don't know. We're doing this. I thought it was a good idea, but maybe it's not. Only 570 likes. We can get up to 1,000. Maybe we'll do this again. But thank you for watching the show. Let's see if we can get those likes going a little bit here as we head into the last 30 minutes of 2021.
All right, let's get, a few minutes to go here. Let's get a few. How do you scan for potential stocks before the market opens? Volume, gap, news. To sum it up, volume, gap, news. So if it's up significantly on volume, on news, figure out why, figure out where the levels are, and then set up a trade from there. That was Mohammed. Thanks, Mohammed, for that. Both Nuno and Julie want to know, what is a good account size to start day trading?
If you're day trading, look, the right number is, you probably need to have more than, if you're in the U.S., you're going to want to be against that, not be up against that PDT rule. So usually you're going to want to be above that 25,000 mark. But ultimately, the real factor is going to be how much you can afford to lose. You've got to build your bankroll. I've said this time and time again. I've told Trader Prad this. When you're young and you're starting out, that you want to make sure that you have an amount that you can lose so that you can try to be in this for the long haul. You don't know if it's going to take you 1 month, 6 months, or 12 months, or a lot longer. So things like hunkering down in terms of like maybe you live at home longer if you're young, or maybe you have to build up that bankroll just a little bit more than you might have anticipated before you can start trading. I get it, PDT does force you to be over that sort of 25K mark. There are strategies for all different types of dollar amounts in terms of account size, but it's hard to be a day trader if you're under that rule, so certainly you want to make sure you can get above there. And then from that, understand what it is that you're trying to make. And what you can afford to lose, because everyone's situation is different, and that's the truth of the matter, right? Like you have to be able to trade an amount and trade in lot sizes that you can afford to lose, so that you can make quality decisions. The second you are trading your net, meaning you're reacting to your P&L moving as opposed to following your trading plan, you're done and you're toast. So you've got to stay within those bounds.
Andrew Harris has a great question. I want to make sure we get to it. What is the extent to your keystroke automation? And you'll be surprised, Andrew Harris, to learn that it's very, very little. So he wants to know, how automated are the orders that we're using? And the answer, guys, and you'll attest to this as well, is basically not at all.
Yeah. I used to have like.
I mean, we use the stop orders
stop orders, yeah.
Yeah, they just sit there pending for a trade, right? Like, so just for example, I'll just talk about this CPOP that just popped again. But anyways, like if I want this break, so what I'll do here is I'll just literally put in like this price, $3.41. Put in a stop order. I don't know if you guys can see here, but like you just go over to any stock here. There's my stop order. So you can just put in the price. So in here, I would just put in the stop price, and in this case, a 341, and then fill out the rest as you go, including share sizes or whatever you want to do for that trade. So CPOP right now, that's what we do, and that's the extent of automation. Believe it or not, like all the trades we make, like I have 100 fills today, they're all just manual. So a little tiring on that front, but yeah, we don't use any automation whatsoever.
I used to use automation. Like there was a program that another trader and he wrote it, but I was giving him input on it for spread trading, something that I do for like those like buyouts and whatnot. And the crazy thing is, when I automated some of the process for order entry, I actually started making less money because it made me lazy. So sometimes it's not necessarily a better thing. This AGE, by the way, the market's still going here, but this AGE over here in the formerly the Amex just opened back up. It is screaming to the upside here. I do see it's broken through that dollar range. I'd say about 150 looks like the next level up that kind of stands out, like it's obvious. If it can't break the high, I think you've got the whole price here at 115. If it struggles, it might catch a bit of a bid there. $1 is a psychological price, is always the thing. Sean just talked about this, where you get these names that get under $1, and then they make these runs. Well, this is now breaking that dollar range, so there's probably going to be an impetus to hold that bid above $1 to end the year. We'll see if that gets defended on any pullback.
Thank you so much, Amir Zing here. Exactly, you've been a big part, obviously, of our community as well. Blessed New Year to you as well. Yeah, AMC was crazy, man. He's proud not to be an ape, and I mean, it's just about your trading style. So thank you so much, Amir Zing, man. Have a drink and smoke on you. That is for sure. Thank you, Amir Zing. You and yours as well. Have a blessed New Year's. So, and we'll see you back on Monday, my friend.
All right. I mean, we're at 3:30, guys. Maybe I'll grab one more here just to. Do you guys miss trading on the weekends?
Yes.
You know what's crazy?
I mean, you see me in the chat on my days off. So
I used to, and then like ever since my daughter was born, I don't, because I just don't have. I'm fortunate not to have the time to miss it as much as I used to, but I used to be like that. Like I'd be looking at what I was going to do the next week, the next day, but I've sort of gotten past that. It should be that type of a job where you do enjoy coming into it. And that's what everyone's looking for. I'm not saying trading is the only thing you can enjoy coming into a Monday morning. It's just that we happen to have found it and we do love it. So you're always hunting for that. I tell you, it's about the fact that you eat what you kill. There's something satisfying about that you can't get at like a regular 9 to 5, because you don't always see you saw the results of your work and be able to feel that. But in trading, you do directly, which is a huge advantage for that.
I just want to say, to wrap things up here, guys, as we get to the final now 7 minutes before 2021 comes to a close. This has been, amazing run. It's been an amazing year for us, the three of us. I mean, everyone involved in the show here. Thank you all for participating, and thank you all for coming out and joining us every single day because, it sounds cliche, but without you, this would not be possible. So thank you so much to everyone. There's so many questions, guys. We could go on for another hour if we wanted to. A few people talking about SoFi. Maybe we can wrap it up with what to expect on SoFi next year.
So Cohibo Robusto, someone said they're on the chat, your favorite. You got to go with the Cohibos. You got to get the Cuban cigars. Romeo and Julieta, also a nice one there. But let's go with those. Okay, so SoFi right now. SoFi was a name that I've just been holding all day. And we were in early, and I just really haven't found my way in. But right now is a good spot for SoFi. Thank you for bringing that up as well. But, right into here, I think this is a good level for SoFi. We wanted to be long this all day. We are 100% right, but now it's come back in. It doesn't look like the market wants to really do anything here in the last day. We were thinking that it was going to be a little bit of a crazy mover here into the close, and it still could be. There's 25 minutes left, but right now, SoFi is just this is the NASDAQ, just battling back and forth, touching VWAP, fading back into these bottoms, touching it again. So for me, I'm not really going to get too aggressive until I see the market move one direction. But right now, it looks like we're coming to the downside. But it just 10 minutes ago, it was looking like we were testing the upside. So, back and forth and around, I don't really see that much. But here into the close, SoFi is a name that I think we could probably pick up some shares right around now. But again, there's not much happening. And I'm already up. I've got a decent day going right now. If something does come into play, I'll like it. But right now, I don't mind buying this SoFi. So I think we can test it. You do have 1575 here as a past top. We're busting out to that rate, busting down to that rate now, testing this 1570. So for me, guys, I think I'm going to try SoFi right now long. We were also in another possible runner here, AMC today, but you could see it's just like, we got out on a little bit of a 50 break there. It's just like, there's just nothing right now. I can't really see that. Sorry, let me call this up a little bit here so you can see it. It's not really doing anything near these bottoms. So we're just going to have to wait. I'm hoping something can pop out. Maybe if you did want to, maybe some GBTC or some Ethereum as crypto's moving. So maybe we can look at a Mara or a Hut 8 or a Riot blockchain or something. But right now, if there are any names that are moving that you guys really want us to look at, like a SoFi, there's NTRB maybe?
No, NTRB, it's actually testing that $10 range. So with only 20 minutes left to go in the trading session, I have a bid at $8, and I don't think I'm going to get that. But if it does fail to break 10 for the 5th time here, I am just going to take it out. I think it's been a good short off of $12. Certainly if it holds above 10, that's a trade we can look at on Monday at that $12 price in particular. Everyone asking about Bitcoin, it's still actually holding below that 46 level, and the market's starting to come down as well. I wish I wasn't shaken out of that Alibaba trade. I got shaken out at 120.25. That's also headed towards its low of the day. So some weakness coming into the market. I have 2 shorts on, but very small positions left. And it was AGE was the last thing that was moving that I was looking at. And it never quite got to that $1.50 level. So I didn't take the short trade there. It never tested down to the halt price to see if it could consolidate for a bounce. But AGE and the 2 positions I have are the ones I'm looking at here.
That's why, we have Brendan here, so hopefully if there's anything that hits the market.
Mookie Wilson, Alabama.
Real quick. I love Alabama too. Shout out to Eddie Lacy.
You think?
Whatever happened to
look,
Eddie
man,
Lacy.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a great story in the college football playoffs. Don't get me wrong; they're a fantastic story. But if you think they're beating Alabama, it's not going to happen.
No.
It's just
Nick
not gonna
Saban?
happen.
No. That's not happening. Okay, that's good. And I made a lot of people a lot of money when they bet on Miami. That was only a 3-point favorite there on Monday. Was it Monday night? I guess it was Monday. Or was it Tuesday? I don't know. The NFL, I don't even know what day it is anymore today.
Waddle, baby.
But yeah, Jalen Waddle. I think it's set rookie record, right? For receptions on a Monday night. Tied Jerry Rice, actually, on that one there. Jalen Waddle doing big things. I like his little waddle when he gets a TD there. That was good. Okay, so, go Ducks. Okay, some Oregon Ducks there talking about that. Thank you to Trader Cat as well, and a big thank you again.
Didn't Oregon lose their bowl game?
I don't know. They said go Ducks. I just figured that's who he meant there. Thank you again for the deep dish pizza. We are going to get that for you for your Monday morning Timbits. Ooh, nice little 20 there. Thank you. That buys us a hell of a lot of Timbits there. Wishing the show huge growth. Hey, same thing, man. We're looking to expand the Market Mover Show. We're going to do a lot of big things here, and Randy's already talking about. And by the way, you guys might not know this, but Randy also building stages. He built this desk here. So we're like, and again, we hope to get traders back, but we're thinking about expanding the stage and just doing like a big old studio here. So that should be really, really fun. Thank you so much, Ariana, or yeah, that makes sense. Thank you to everybody. You've learned a lot. Hey, look, we've learned a lot just by having you guys on board and just really you helping us learn, not only from our own mistakes, but holding us accountable for some of the trades that we've made. Things like that is very, very important. Automation discussion. Yeah, thank you very much, Andrew. I mean, thank you for the super chat. And yeah, look, I mean, I wish we could automate some of these trading strategies, but honestly, most of them are just coming from up here, and a lot of it is just like the feel that you get. Like I can't honestly, like I'm long SoFi right now. We just taught it at 1580. You know, I can't make a program that's kind of going to like sort of look at this and tell us what to do. I mean, you could say buy low a days, sell high a days, things like that. But a lot of it is the feel for the stock and what you're looking at. So yeah, there it is. Like right now, I could take 4 cents on this, but we'll see if SoFi wants to run up the rest of the day here. So that's my newest position on SoFi. AMC's getting near a level now. And this is why I'm not stressed out. Like we're not using big shares here as we go, but AMC is now getting to a level where we may put one on coming back into 27. The very bottom is 2680 or 2670 there. But like I said, what I'm trying to do better is not take this as the out. So I'm going to level this down to like 2650 there. So if this comes down closer to 27, we may put one on and then see what happens at that 2650 level. So that's what we're doing. With only 10 minutes until market imbalances come out, that's really going to be the exciting thing for me. There might be like some last second buys or sells or just floods into the market. Yeah. If we see something, we may get, what are these jokers running around for? Like, honestly, this is not going to end well, guys. Because, like, let's see what they have planned. If you guys weren't running out to buy more booze, and I don't even know what you guys are doing.
What's going on over here?
Wasn't it Rob that hit his head on that thing last time he was running around? So,
I missed that.
You might have missed that, yeah. Was that you, Rob? Yeah. So Rob was running back and forth. The bell was down. And he got cracked on that one day.
Rob.
So, but that explains a lot. So, yeah, I don't know what Pratt is doing, but I'm excited to see what that was all about, guys.
Maybe he's going to ring the bell. I'm not sure who's going to ring the bell today. It's certainly,
hopefully Miss V.
I think it's to end the year. You got to go.
Let's go Miss V and Pratt.
It should be.
Let's go
and
Miss
Alex
V and
Puig, thank you for the super chat. Another 50 there. Look. The interesting thing, everyone says, it's like, I learned a lot from you guys. The best thing about this is we learn a lot from you as well. So you guys will bring symbols to us, and we'll be like, I've never really looked at that, and start focusing on them more. We focus on these halt trades more than we probably used to, and we're getting better at trading those, which is great because they've been great profit centers for a lot of day traders. And we learn from each other as well. You see when Arun's on here, it's a different perspective, and we can all gain from that. I can't wait for the opportunity to see Miss V go live because I think it's going to be a good learning experience for everybody to be able to see somebody at the see Pop one again. Anyway, see someone at the beginning of their journey is really valuable information. So hopefully
look at CPOP. So just to go back to Andrew here, CPOP is gone right now, right? So it's up to 372. This is just a great trade for me. It started to turn out to be that way. But you see there's size here right now. So for me as a trader, like normally I would look at that size and say, I'm going to get out now because there's something there supporting this short, right? But no, you just got absolutely run over. You see size really starting to go here on CPOP. So yes, sir, the diamond hands finally working out right now. But it's coming back into 370. You see how it just resisted that 370 break? Let's see what happens if it does take it out. But I'm going to put a stop order in now on CPOP at that 370 break. So if we break back down below 370 right now, we'll send an order to fire off to get us out. So that's about, there it is. So right now, we saw that 370 in. And to answer your question, Andrew, so now I'm hands off. If it breaks through, you can see right now, there you go. So my hands are out. And obviously, I don't cross down enough. But it fires out an order there. And then now we'll get out of that trade. So it breaks back down below. There we go. We're out. So it breaks back down below that 70. The computer fires out an order. I'm not doing it anything. And we get out. So that's about this extent of automation that we have right there. And there's a Gronk spike. Good luck to Neil this week for fantasy as we'll spike that down. CPOP with hell yeah. We got some money coming out. Ride that bull, baby. Into 2022.
Exactly. It's a good way to end the day. Obviously, the market's not going to hold up, but you can't complain about the year that it's been. I don't think anybody would. I see people talking about Apple starting to make a bit of a move. And look, that's been a great performer. Someone asked like an outlook for next year. I'm not nearly as bullish as probably a lot of people. I think some defensive players are going to do really well. You already know that I'm sort of in love with what Procter and Pepsi have been doing for the portfolios. I think energy is going to hold up pretty well next year. If you're into REITs, I think that's a good place to be. And I think value in some of the growth names is going to be good. Like I think it's going to be a much better year for Intel.
We need your pick, but
speaking.
I think you were AMAT, right? Or what did you say?
Well, so I like three
You teased it early, but I wasn't sure which one.
So look, I really do like AMAT in the semi space because I'm not gonna talk up something that I've sort of gone over and over again. It probably would be one of the consumer durables there. And I've sort of talked energy before, but I'm really liking AMAT in the chip space, and they're in the midst of a bit of a breakout. So I'll go with them, for lack of better. And look, maybe made me look here. I see Apple moving, and it's not that big. It didn't even get positive on that move. So I wouldn't read too much into that pop, but, it's a big but here. When the imbalances come at 350, I think there might be a few opportunities. Like Apple makes this little move here, right? So if it comes out, let's just say it comes out as a buy and bounce in 5 or 6 minutes. You might be looking for it to test into one of these lower highs, like the 178.60 or the 178.70, right at 350. And if it's a buy and balance, look for it to maybe get paired off. So you maybe just go short at one of those levels if it pops up really quickly into that level and then play a quick little retracement. Usually that's what you're going for. And you take an early spike as a possible hint as to what direction it might come out as. I don't know if Apple's going to be coming out as a buy. We'll see what happens, but it did just spike up. The NASDAQ, however, is still sort of gravitating towards the lower end of the range. The ES barcoding in the 5-handle range as well.
Yeah, our SoFi, though, not doing anything. So I was going to say SoFi working, but not really. It's come back in a little bit here. Only hits a high of 87. So we're really just going to have to, guys, honestly, just like sort of put on our cap here and hope that we get something into the imbalance, because I really think that there could be some nice buying opportunities here or selling opportunities into the close. And so what we'll have up for you is the imbalance locator. We did get a question about that. Oh, I wanted to see whatever happened to Rito here. There was a big, you could see this is from 9:30. I guess it never got paired off, this stock. Yeah, nothing's happened to Rito all day here today, but you could see the imbalances right there. Look, there's 170,000 share print right there off the, that's not even off the open. I guess no one took this out. So I think this just, they only paired off here on Rito, 36,000 shares. Because I was looking at the print and I'm like, that's not
Wait a minute.
That's not 300,000 shares. That's 62,000 shares there. So yeah, this may come on balance here to the close, but whatever. We'll wait for this. Only 4 minutes, and hopefully it's lights, camera, action here at the close, and we get a little bit of a move up, because my eyes right now, I'm just looking at, we have different scanners here and different opportunities to look at, including obviously Brendan brings some plays to us, but like NVIDIA, nothing's really doing anything. AMD, they're all pretty flat here, and you can check out AMD. We got out of the way of this one, man. This was one of my best trades today.
It's a good
big
point.
time movement up. Do you have something, Brendan?
Not at the moment, no, Sean.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something.
No,
We'll keep you posted.
There's a really good point made in the chat here by Adam S here, and it's like, how are you guys going to cheers at the end of the show if we ran out of booze? Like, that was a pretty big omission there, because, yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, we cheers. We don't have to cheers at the end of the show.
But it's the end of the trading year.
Randy.
Rob. Anyway,
Damn
but
it,
look,
Randy and Rob.
It's been a fun year. It's time to get
Damn these IT
flat
guys.
on some of these positions. I know you're in a bunch. I just covered the XERS because it's not really moving, so we'll take it for profit. I'm on the bid in front of 1050 on NTRB because it bounced off that $10 level. So just looking to get out. I want to try to be flat going into 350 just in case something pops up. Maybe it's nothing at the close. I have no idea, but a lot of times, you're waiting for that maybe huge imbalance to come out. There's an actionable trade. I'd rather be focused on that possible opportunity. NTRB is going to hold above $10, which is good for it next week, I hope, but it was a good trade to the short side. I think this could be a bit of a play at that $12 level on Monday. I'm kind of hoping it holds the high just for that reason.
So, I mean, I just got out. We'll beat up MDDR today. I mean, well, it's beating us up, but this is my only, it's the only negative stock I have on the board right here. AMC pending. AMC looks like it'll be a negative trade for me as well. Peloton's a nice trade for me today. SoFi is a great trade. I mean, we can review them all. Only one negative trade in, and I just took it out. I mean, I took it out at 21 there. I just was like, you know what? If this breaks below here, not really worth doing anything about that. So we'll get out of MDR and DDR there and lose a little bit of money, not make it. It's leaving me here. So
did we show this? I don't know.
No. You want to show it now?
Someone just went to our internal chat. Someone was showing off their, I don't know who it is, and apologies, I don't think there was a name attached. Who was it? Jeff D. So thank you, Brad. It was Jeff D. showing their setup. Wow, that is intense, man. Like if there's like a pimped out layup.
Like how sick is that curved monitor?
That is sick. I love the curved monitor. That's a lot. I'm not going to lie. That's probably more than I would look at, but that is pretty sweet. Happy New Year to you. But that is pretty sweet there. I love the curve. You got a good, comfortable chair. Everything's sort of at your fingertips there. So, yeah, good looks. And showing up the trading layout, that is a lot of monitors and a lot of real estate, but you got to do what works for you.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic, man. Turn your office into a trading floor.
Oh, the guitar. I missed the guitar in the bottom there.
Yeah. I mean, do whatever, man. Keep everything that you're comfortable with. I think he has like a little board there as well with some notes there on the left beside your face.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. So I think that's a great little setup there, guys. And thank you again. As the super chats just keep on flying in there, I hope we didn't miss anything as I go. Here it is. The Playmaker wants Prad at the bell with Valeria, right? Prad is a rising star. Well, he's definitely rising star, that's for sure. As we'll see what happens here, Prad, in the new year with Miss V and Trader Prad. So you good for that, Prad? You want to ring the bell? Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So that's sorry, my bad on that one. So yesterday we were lucky enough to have Arun to be flat, but honestly, today, okay, let's get ready to rock and roll. Miss V, you good to ring the bell?
Always.
Okay, good. Always. Good. We like that one. Oh, that reminds me. We should have an always thing. We'll just go. Yeah, she'll ring the bell for us. Okay, let's get ready to rock and roll here as the imbalances starting to come out right now. We'll see what this means here today, guys, with these imbalances. Where are they? Here they are coming out right now. And unfortunately, the imbalances are now out.
Nothing over a mil.
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh my God.
I didn't mean to hit that right in front of everybody, but SoFi is there as a sell. So you're going to look at SoFi right now starting to go to the downside on that sell side imbalance, but maybe we'll just get out of this one. Again, SoFi is a profitable name for us today. Apple, okay, I missed Apple, my bad. Apple is on there, and you can see what, okay. Was Apple on there when I first called this up? I don't think I would have gone wow on that one, but there goes Apple right now to the downside, starting to take out some of these new lows here on the day, possibly here for Apple. As the NASDAQ says, hold my beer. Yeah. It's the NASDAQ that's going down right now. So, yeah, look at this. Microsoft, SoFi, everything, sell. Intel, everything's a sell here on the NASDAQ. Facebook a sell as well. Heading into the close, let's get a little bit hyped up here for a sell. Can we find something on a sell? They're all going to pair off. So, I'm wondering if we just go long at this
actually,
point.
like, Hertz was on there. I was looking at the list. There was a lot of big names that are a million. It's like Wells and Apple, which are, do a lot of volume. But Hertz actually a 1 million sell imbalance. And that spiked to the downside, but only about 20 cents or so. Maybe if it gives you like 25s. Hertz actually up on the day here. It might be worth watching. I was looking at Apple after that spike for a potential buy imbalance that could be faded off those levels. It gives a sell, which was not what I was prepared for. So you plan a trade, but if it goes the other way, you're not forced to trade the name that moves. I'm going to be watching a little bit of Hertz, but it's not keeping up the volume after that initial spike at 350.
Yeah, shout out to you guys here in Toronto, too. We'll do a little imbalance locator here. There's nothing. So nothing to worry about here. This VFF, I believe, is a marijuana company, but they have 1 million shares to sell. But it looks like it's, oops, that's not the right chart here. Let's just take a quick look. So it's 1 million shares to sell, but look at this move. Bang! So they absolutely, this is 1 million shares to sell, and there's only 2.5 million done on the day. So we'll see if that gets paired off, but that's another name to look at. Look at this, a big move down right there. I wish I was in something for you, but honestly, AMD's cracking right now. It's near the lows. We didn't really expect that kind of a sell-off, but I'm wondering, as they start to get paired off, I'm actually looking for the reverse trade right now into that number. So I'm looking for it to reverse off here at 355. That's when they update again. So Apple right now only back down to 940. I think this is a long on Apple, and I'm going to test a long right here on Apple, see if we get back to VWAP at least, which is 177.90. We'll see if we can take this for about 20
I've got good news
cents.
for you here. One, I see this GWEL people are asking about. I don't see much volume happening to continue that move, and it's only 600,000 shares. But Trader Prad has said the trades he was looking at for the close are nothing burgers. So maybe we can actually get both Trader Prad and Miss V doing the ball. I think that would be a fantastic way to round out that year.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I mean, anything that Trader Pratt and Ms. V want to do is down with me. So that's a good one there. We'll see if that can get going. So I'm just going to play Apple. I actually had the imbalance locator up there. Maybe I'll just keep it up so you guys can sort of see it here if you want to. I don't know where's a good spot to put it. Maybe right there. So here we go. Apple right now still. Ooh, where did it go? So it's 930,000 shares now to sell. Still a sell imbalance here for Apple, but we have 2 minutes before this pairs off. I will average into this thing at the bottom of the day. And then if we take out 177, then we'll be gone on this one, and we'll chalk up another year to, a successful year, man. I mean, I had my second best year, I believe, anyways, on record for me. So it's been a good one, and I've traded for 20. So it's been a big year for me. I'm super happy. We'll celebrate that tonight with family, and I want to wish everybody a happy New Year and a safe New Year's Eve. That's for sure. Stay home with your family if you have nothing to do, or join Trader Prad at the Paris Hilton Roblox Jam.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, exactly. Like, be safe, do the best, but make sure you enjoy it. It's all about reflecting on the year, spending it with those that you love, and doing your best. And of course, I plan on checking out some kind of Betty White tribute. I'll find something. That SNL she did was fantastic. Maybe it'll be Golden Girls, which is a great show. Trader TV Randy is reminding me. I said I would look at
Trader TV Randy was on Golden Girls, actually.
That would not surprise me, actually, Sean, that it would be on there. I was going to trade that Hertz. It's actually starting to move back up here. But I looked at the imbalance. The imbalance looks like it's gone. It was on there for a 1 million imbalance. Looks like that paired off. So I'm going to have to get away from that trade. But it did make a bit of a reversal here, so that sell imbalance gone.
So my strategy is going against me because, as you notice here, the Apple imbalance is getting bigger to the sell side. So, yeah, not good, man. When we took, okay, there it is. Now it's down to 937. We have 20 seconds, and I just averaged into this down here at 40. So that's about it. So our average price on Apple now working. It's at 55. Hopefully, in 10 seconds, this will pair off, and we'll go ripping back up to the upside, and we'll get out for a nice little win here. But we're in the money now on Apple, so I'm just trying to make this a little exciting for all of us here in the close. There it is. So where did Apple go? I don't know. I don't see it anywhere on here anymore. So it must have paired off. But Apple's not going back up to the upside right now. So it just looks like they're trying to sell some of these names. A lot of these imbalances seem like, again, to take it from whoever, a nothing burger here today. So, yeah, not much happening. I think Apple should retrace back up here. So let's see if we got a winner on our hands. We're flat on this Apple trade. Peloton, we did take a short there in breaking the day's low. So we're now in the money on this Peloton trade. But I'm just going to cover both of these and hope that Apple pops up here in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, these imbalances are pairing off. Nothing is over a million now. So when 355 hit, almost everything decreased in size. I was looking at PaySafe, that got cut in half. It's now a 500,000 sell imbalance. So not a heck of a lot is sort of staying. You could get reversals. PaySafe doing absolutely nothing, by the way. I know people were like, oh, there's a sell imbalance on PaySafe. It's a $4
Come on, it's
stock.
a $4 name.
Yeah, again, like it's all relative. Like you look for those imbalances. If it's on a cheap stock, it needs to be huge. Right? So like, does 9 million shares in volume? That would have to be a couple million, maybe even 3 to catch my attention. As such, you see it not budge even 1 cent. It doesn't budge a single cent on those imbalances.
I'm just going to, honestly, there's nothing for me to do here on Apple. I mean, it's literally doing absolutely nothing here into the close. You want to talk about a barcoding event here, and we did talk about that, but thank you again for joining us. It's been a great, there we go. So we just take out a dime right there. I'm just trying to layer out some orders here into the close. Maybe we get a rally. Okay, so here we go, man. All we're really doing right now is topping off our day. So yeah, let's just get this to the upside. We're either going to lose on this or win, but we're out now of a third of the trade. We'll see if it can continue to go to the upside. I'm just going to put my stop order now at 177.30, which I believe, is the low. No, that's the low of the day, 175 and change. I don't think that's right. Oh yeah, we have made a move down here. So we'll see about Apple here today. Obviously, that's not the bottom of the day. We're going to use this right here, 177.30. If we break below that, let's call it 177.25. Then we're gone out of this trade, and it's going to be no damage done. But there it goes. We're flat on the trade right now on Apple. Let's see if we get a last-second spike to end the year. But no window dressing, nothing happening here today.
No.
Just wish there was a little more excitement for us.
The good news is for NTRB, it's still holding at $10. That AGE, by the way, it did come all the way back to $1. There is no level, there's nothing actually on the bid here, but it's trying to hold above that dollar price. Sometimes you can see that defended when it tries to spike above. We talked about this with penny stocks and needing to stay above that dollar range or get back above that dollar range. Looks like it's going to end up, or at least try to close above $1. Although, as I say that, $1 is on the bid and about to go.
I don't know if we did enough of the super chat stuff here, but maybe we did. Thank you so much to Baby Buffett. Yeah, good job there. Nice to have Warren as your father, man. Good job there. And then thank you so much as well, Alex. I mean, you've been a big supporter of the show, and thank you for coming back every day. And it just means a lot to us that we have that strong base, right? And I mean, you guys are building that for us, and it's really turned up this year, and we're really happy about everything. We have 1,000 likes right now. If you haven't hit the like, please do that again, man. It's been, or do it for the first time. It's been a great end of the year here. Unfortunately, Neil and I were ready to cheers everybody, but unfortunately we hit the booze a little too early there, and now it's gone. So that is out of there now. But I just have Apple to manage. We're gonna have Miss V and hopefully Prad if he doesn't say anything on the bell, which happens in about a minute and a half.
Absolutely, and yeah. It is what it is. I mean, obviously, we're toasting here we're high in spirits because the market's held up well. I know it's selling off to end the year, but it kind of felt like if we weren't threatening to get positive on the NASDAQ for the close, it was inevitable that you could see a bit of a pullback.
Apple's
here.
going here.
I mean, Apple's looking pretty solid. I'm just looking overall. The NASDAQ's trying to hold. It just looks like it's going to be about 0.5% down. There are some names that were actionable earlier. I don't know if you're watching that AMC. That's actually now down towards its low of the day as well. Woohoo! It looks like CCL $20 could be a thing come Monday. I'm glad because that should be a pretty big level on CCL if we get that 20 level on Monday. So lining up some ideas for Monday morning. CCL $20 will be one. NTRB at $10. Obviously, that'll be another one. AGE, that dollar range should be pretty good as well.
I mean, this isn't going to look like anything too special here, but Apple was a decent winner for us. We're now in the money 20 cents, but again, it's just all we're really doing is paying for that bottle at the end of the day here as we top it off. So right now we're 20 cents in the money. We're waiting for 70s to get out here. 76 is actually where I'm at here for Apple. So if we get a little run in the end of the day here, we should get that print coming through. We'll see what the imbalances are going to be. But for right now, man, we only have 15 seconds left in 2021. So what's been a big year? Let's hit that, Neil. Hit that countdown.
Boom. We've
got Miss V and Trader Prad, I think. Oh, here he comes. He's coming running. He forgot about it. Trader Prad on the bell there. And we get out of Apple. 3, 2, and 1. There we go. That was risky, guys, because that could have gone back and forth. It took both of them out right there. As we will go, yes, sir, and end the last day.
You know, Prad runs back to his desk like he was in a trade. Okay.
And that is
Robbie,
the end of the year, guys. So I'm happy we kicked it off. It was a bit of a fantastic little run here for us. And trust me when I tell you, man, this show, you think it's good now. It is, but we're going to get much better heading into the new year. We're always trying for you guys to do the best show. Thank you for supporting us in 2021. Brendan, how did we wind up, my friend?
So much on deck, guys. So much to come as well. Thank you for joining us once again. There you go. That was the last day of the year. Wasn't terribly exciting. The NASDAQ 0.65 leading the way to the downside. The TSX here in Toronto negative as well. Yeah, a bit of a slide there at the end of the equity session for cryptos as well. We'll see how the weekend fares out for Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys.
Yeah, and we did. I mean, all these Apple trades wound up being pretty good. We got a 76 print or 78 or something like that near the end on that close. So that was a good trade for us. And yeah, crypto, I mean, whatever, man. We're going to have to wait for crypto. I think it's going to be a big year here in 2022 for everything that is crypto, guys.
Absolutely. You can't say enough about your support. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun doing that Q&A. So maybe we don't only do it like once a year. It could be like a quarterly thing, a monthly thing. Sure. We'll figure it out. But it was a lot of fun doing it for you guys. Can't thank you enough for all the support we got. You guys were all amazing. I can't wait till we do this Vegas thing, you know, Sean.
I mean,
COVID needs to end.
I don't think we're allowed to travel.
I legit, I've said it before, I'm like the only trader in the universe who has never been to Vegas. So I'd love to be able to do that, especially with some of you guys. It would be a lot of fun.
Have you been to Vegas, Ms. V? Here we go. All right, so
Never
that should
the
be a fun vacation for all of us. But maybe we can do a show live on one of those floors. I don't think so, but maybe we can. Okay, guys, New Year's plans. We've already talked about this. I think, Ms. V, you got anything planned? No mic. Okay. Dancing. Okay. Brendan, I think you've already told us dinner.
Canceled, in fact. Canceled.
What?
Canceled.
Why?
2 of our party got sick, so.
No.
What are you going to do?
Well, thanks for the invite. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Brandon. Like, yeah, I didn't get invited to a party. What's up with this? That's cold. Cold as ice. But no, sorry about that. That sucks, man,
It's all
to have
good.
that get canceled. But hey, we'll have fun at home, man. I mean, we've got my, shout out to my wife, Marissa, lovely presents and everything ready to go for the kids. We're going to do a balloon drop.
Yeah.
We're keeping it real. And then hopefully, if it doesn't rain, we have a few other things planned. So last time I fired off my own fireworks, some of them went a little AWOL. So I don't know if we'll be doing that again. But that's that plan. And what about you guys?
My wife bought a bottle of Camus, and we're doing a charcuterie plate, but that's pretty much it. We're not going out doing anything fancy. But that Betty White thing, I'm serious. I want to watch that SNL tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure Saturday Night Live will actually, like NBC will do something.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For all of us, Trader Pratt, what you got planned, my man?
I'm gonna go have some fun on the Roblox party with Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I'll join you there, man. I'm gonna, me and my kids will be there, man. I'll send you a thing. We can share Roblox. I actually have a Roblox account because I go in there and play with the kids. So guys, thank you again. It's been a fantastic year. Everybody have fun tonight. Cheers to everybody out there. It's been a fantastic run for us. And like we said, it's even getting bigger and better. So please be safe and come back on Monday and we'll have some new trades, some new ideas for you here in 2022. Have a good one, everybody.
Happy New
Thanks for the
Year.
support. Happy New Year.